right, let's jump into this thing. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about summer blockbusters today. It is later than usual for the summer movie season to start. Kind of unofficially started over the past 2 weeks with a Jason Statham movie, Wrath of Man, I believe it's called, and then the Guy Ritchie movie, and then Spiral, the from the Book of Saw. But it really kicks off Memorial Day weekend, which is kind of an old school thing from back in the '90s. When it kick off around then, or like late '80s, um, which is when A Quiet Place Part Two and Cruella will be coming out. But we're gonna go through all the movies that we think are exciting and you should get hyped for. Some that are kind of guilty pleasure ones, others that legit look good. But really, we're going to be going through the big ones, the ones that we think will end up being successes, at least the box office. And this will be kind of a part one of two, talking about the summer movie season, because next week we are going to be doing, we're going to be drafting what we think are going to be the biggest movies of the summer. And the four of us will be picking our movies, and then we'll be following up on it throughout the summer to see where we're at in the standings. And we should have a winner probably by the end of September. We don't know exactly how leggy these movies are going to be this summer, in comparison to the movies like that came out at the end of 2020 and are somehow like still sticking around the top 10.
Every dollar they count.
Exactly. But yeah, so yeah, today we're going to go through the summer movie preview. Hopefully it is more successful than the one we did last year, where there were so many changes within like a week of us doing our summer movie preview. It seems like things are getting be a little bit more locked down this year. It seems like if there are changes, it's mostly going to be like, is it going to open up simultaneously on video, or like VOD or streaming at the same time as in theaters? But there shouldn't be too much of a shakeup. Now that all the major studios have kind of moved their big movies already at this point.
Did any of our movies from the summer movie preview actually come out?
I
don't.
Tenet did, but like the very end of the summer.
Yeah.
And New Mutants. I think those were like the only, and Unhinged. I think those were the only three that did open in theaters. We did talk about some that went straight to streaming, and that was originally the plan. But we do have some on here that are going to be straight to streaming. Only like one, I believe. But yeah, we didn't do too well. We're probably covering
It's not
some
our
that.
fault.
Yeah, no, it's not our fault. We're probably covering some that were covered last year. We can just
We're definitely covering some.
we can just like replay our audio from last year during those segments. Maybe dub some words in. But yeah, before we get into things though, I wanted to pose the question to you guys. What summer blockbuster do you wish you had seen back in its original run? Either before you were born or before we were all born, which is around 86, 87, or when we were super young and didn't get to see like the cool PG-13 rated movies in theaters because we were like 2 years old. Such as like Batman 1989, for example. Anyone want to answer this first?
I think it's pretty obvious. I would have really loved to see Ghostbusters when it came out. Unfortunately, I was not quite born yet. But
yeah,
Does put you at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean that would have been the first of its kind. You know, like a high budget science fiction-esque comedy with CGI, or I guess whatever CGI was back then.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot of fun to see. I've since seen it in theaters, but it definitely wasn't, anywhere close to that. It was like me and maybe 15 other people in the theater. So it would have been nice to see it back then.
Yeah, no. When we saw it, I think it was in around 2011. We saw a re-release of it around Halloween, and like it was basically on like an original like film. Like it was grainy as shit, which was kind of cool. Like you're getting the original experience. It was just an empty theater. It was like you said, it was like seven of us. Like it was my dad, and like the three of the four of us, and a few other people. There was not a lot of people, but yeah, it would have been cooler to see it back in the 80s when it was like absolutely dominating the summer of 1984.
Yeah,
hopefully Afterlife will be somewhat of a comparable experience, at least in regards to like a full crowd and an enjoyable movie. I'm
I hope so.
obviously not expecting it to be as good as the original, but if it's good, that'll be a treat.
Yeah.
Corey, Doug?
I'm actually gonna go with a movie that came out the following year after Ghostbusters, The Goonies.
Oh.
Interesting pick.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, The Goonies has always been. I mean, because I have older siblings. It's always been on in my house. I watched it since I was a kid, so that I think would be a really cool movie to see, like in the summer. Have a nice ice cold slushy. It's like 90 degrees outside. I don't know if it came out before or after July 4th. I feel like that movie probably
It was
came out in July.
I feel like it was like maybe a June or July movie.
Yeah, just that would
That's
be
when summer like started back then, as far as the movie season.
true. But yeah, I think that would be a fun movie to see in theaters, especially like back at that time. I think it has actually been shown. They shown it in like AMC or
It was in drive-ins last summer, if I remember correctly. I think it was even might have been in the top 10 at least one weekend. Probably all the movies we're going to bring up were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June 7th, 1985 is when Goonies was released.
When was it?
June 7th.
June 7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
that movie is
If anyone was
just
interested.
that movie's so classic, and it's just a great summer movie. It always, like, every time I see it, I think of like summertime for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
A summary type adventure movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a lot of rain in that movie? For some reason, I feel like there's a lot of
Pacific
rain.
Northwest.
It is, okay.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right.
I've been to that rock over in Oregon. It's
Oh,
cool.
Really?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. All right, Doug, what about you?
So keeping things in chronological order. So Murph, you can't go backwards. You gotta pick
I'm gonna
a movie
I'll have to
after
change my pick.
after
Then.
this. I'm going with the only choice for me, which is Back to the Future.
Surprise.
That's the movie I would have loved to see. The movie came out July 3rd, 1985. So we're still moving chronologically forward in time. But yeah, this is just a movie. I love this movie. We've talked about how much I love this movie. I always think about the special features, and like when they talk about when Einstein, Doc's dog, gets sent back in time, and like how the whole audience is just like quiet and like gasped, and like the first time you see the DeLorean just like fucking just like explode basically, and then you got like the fire trails, and everyone just thinks like Einstein's dead. And then like you bring the car back, and you're like, oh shit, like it's a time machine, like it's cold, and got all that mystery. And so I'd love to just like be there with the audience the first time that they experienced all of that.
Yeah.
So that's another movie where they re-released it. You've seen it in theaters, but like everyone knows what's going on with that movie.
Yeah.
So you're not getting that first reaction that you would get had you seen that back in 1985.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be so dope to see like that Avengers Endgame type of experience. Like when that Marvel trailer they put out fairly recently, where it has the camcorder footage of like the opening night screening and everyone going batshit insane. Like for any of these movies, for some of those big moments, getting that type of feel would just be so cool. All right, and then I'm breaking the chronological order. I'm keeping it so it's all movies before we were born. I'm going with Jaws. So getting the original summer blockbuster. I think that one would just be wild for the amount of like jump scares and things like that. For a PG rated movie, it's like super intense. And I mean, I remember seeing Jurassic Park in theaters and like that feeling intense as a kid, but to get like that 20 years earlier, and in much more violent, crazy movie like Jaws, it would just be a super unreal experience. I did catch it in theaters, which was probably like a sold out crowd for like a Fathom event 5 or 6 years ago, and that was really neat. Like it was cool seeing little kids with their parents, since they probably had no idea what was going on, getting that experience. So like if I had gotten that one back in the day, that would have just been a dream.
Do you think you would have been afraid to go into the ocean after that?
Yeah, just because
I definitely
just
would
from
be.
seeing it on VHS, like I was not like the biggest fan
Yeah.
of going in the Atlantic Ocean.
Man.
Pacific, I guess I was kind of fine with when I went to Hawaii. But yeah, I remember going to the shore
Though.
and going to the shore and just like not being cool with it. Maybe because the movie set in the Atlantic Ocean.
I remember being terrified when I was a kid. Like after I saw that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I couldn't shower with a shower curtain after I saw Psycho. That fucking ruined me for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy like the types of like little phobias you can get from these movies, especially when you're a kid. Even like being in a pool, I'm like, but what if the pool opens up like on the bottom and the shark comes out? You never know what can happen.
You are not the first person that had a phobia of sharks in the pool that I know.
Yeah, definitely not.
Ooh, that's a weird one. I don't quite get that, but yeah.
But
sharks.
yeah, that's what we got. We'll come up with another type of question similar to that for next week. Maybe like to kick off the episode, maybe like the best summer movie experience we've had so far, something like that. I imagine the four of us can probably just come up with one unified answer for that. Yeah. Let us know what you're most excited to see this summer. Again, we'll be going through all the movies later in the program. Let us know what your favorite summer blockbusters of the past are, which ones you wish you got to see, all those kind of things. You can let us know on Twitch, on YouTube, social, etc. But yeah, let's kick off the show. All right, welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 41. You're here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. Thanks as always for joining us. Before we get into our main topic for today, let's just run through some news and what we watched over the past few weeks since our last episode, including a few big movies that came out on streaming. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Those Who Wish Me Dead. Yeah, let's start with news. Breaking news as of today, which is going to have a pretty big impact on streaming and Warner Brothers as a whole, is the fact that WarnerMedia is now going to be merging with Discovery under AT&T. The head of HBO Max is getting fired. So, Doug, that was one of the big things.
Wow.
Jason Killer, I believe his name is. He's getting terminated, and it's going to be falling under the head of Discovery. Supposedly, this is going to.
Is that like they think he fucked up by like moving all their movies to HBO Max? Like, do you think that's a fallout from that, or just has nothing to do with it? It's more the Discovery thing.
From what I hear, it has more to do with the fact that AT&T didn't know what they were doing as far as managing creative and talent, and Discovery has a much better idea with what they're doing on that front.
Okay, and what the hell is Discovery? Because I like don't really understand what Discovery is.
That's a fair question. I had to look it up as well. Discovery's brands include things like HGTV, Food Network,
yeah.
TLC, ID, Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, and things like that. They're more in the, I guess, reality vein than what Warner's doing. So they're not really going to be overlapping one another. They can kind of work, like just come in and work together. Discovery already has its own streaming platform.
Discovery Plus, man.
Yeah, my guess is that they will combine the two. I don't think it would dilute the HBO Max brand having these other types of programs on there or anything like that. I mean, it's really about competing with the likes of Netflix and Disney Plus, and the more content, the better.
HBO is starting to become like a force.
Yeah.
I've noticed they keep like rolling up like different properties into this HBO Max where like.
Yeah, I mean it's not it's WarnerMedia. That's the force.
Okay.
They just That's why I never really understood the name HBO Max. Like HBO didn't have anything to do with HBO Max. HBO was just one of the hubs on HBO Max.
It's probably just
It
the
really
name.
should have been called like WarnerMax, because it's everything that is under Warner,
Right.
whether
Yeah.
it's DC, Warner Brothers, HBO, etc. Plus, I guess Adult Swim. Plus some of those other ones that they've got on there. So yeah, WarnerMedia is doing a pretty good job of getting a ton of things that can compete with these other streaming platforms. But I mean, we might see the likes of now Christopher Nolan being like, "All right, I'm good. Like, I won this battle now. You fired the people that I wasn't happy with their decision making. I'm cool with sticking with Warner Brothers now."
Oh yeah, that's a good call. I didn't
Could
think
have
about
things
that.
like that. I mean, I've heard that Dune now. What was that?
Yeah, you were about to
Oh,
go for
yeah.
it.
I heard that we're going to be hearing an announcement soon that Dune will no longer be debuting simultaneously on HBO Max and theaters in October, but it'll be in theaters first and then probably show up on HBO Max after like 45 days.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have those theatrical exclusive windows a little earlier than when we were initially expecting, which would have been in 2022. So, obviously, this merger thing has to pass all forms of,
FTC approval
yeah,
and all that.
exactly. It's not just signing a piece of paper and boom, you're good. I mean, expectations seem to be that it will be fine, but
I mean, FTC let Disney and Fox combine, so it seems
Yeah.
like
Weird.
Discovery and
yeah.
Warner.
yeah. Anything could happen. But
Yeah, and it just doesn't seem like Discovery's not the powerhouse that Fox was.
yeah.
I don't know, man. They got Chip and Joanna on that Discovery Plus.
Chip and Joanna are done.
No, dude, they're on Discovery Plus. They started their own network. It's exclusively on Discovery Plus. You
Oh,
can't
wow.
watch television.
I don't know. I'm excited to watch Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives on
Don't you
Disney
dare
Food Network.
bad mouth Guy Fieri.
No,
Don't
I'm
you
not.
dare.
I love that show.
He's got to take Corey to Flavortown.
Yeah, I go to
Dude, you
Flavortown
can
all the time.
Shop Flavortown Market and Guys Grocery Games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Discovery.
Lots of great content.
I watch it every single day while I eat dinner.
Anthony
used
Bourdain's
to
No
watch-
Reservation. That's another good one. Classic.
I used to watch we used to watch Food Channel like right before bed all the time. But then we found that it like made us really, really hungry.
Yeah, that is what happens.
That's why you gotta watch it when you're eating dinner, so it stops that urge to just eat everything inside.
Yeah, or like right before you eat dinner.
Yep.
Yeah,
Build that
it's not a
appetite.
good before bed.
No, it doesn't seem
Before
like a
bed
good
watch.
idea. But yeah, we'll talk more about this as more news breaks. I imagine we'll hear more over the next week. But moving on to Marvel news, we did allude to a little trailer that they put out over the past few weeks, which basically showcased everything coming to theaters from Marvel Studios in Phase 4. Some breaking news that we did get from that trailer were the titles to two of the features. We got 2 new release dates, and that was really it. But those were Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, with Wakanda Forever kind of being the highlight of the title, much bigger font. Which I think we kind of said on this program we wouldn't be surprised if they like called it Wakanda or something like that. So pretty predictable title, but a good one nonetheless. Still don't know really who's in it other than the returning characters from the first movie, but we should hear that more from that soon. We know Captain Marvel 2 is going to be called The Marvels, since it is having Ms. Marvel in the film as well, along with who was the one in WandaVision?
Monica Rambeau.
Yes, Monica Rambeau. I guess she's got some superpowers. I don't know if she's a Marvel, but maybe somebody else knows.
And Miss
If
Marvel
not,
was
I
confirmed.
think
to
she
be
is
in
a
it too,
Marvel.
right?
Yeah,
She is a
becomes
Marvel.
Captain Marvel at some point in the comics.
Okay, so then I guess we got 3 Marvels in this movie.
Yeah,
All the
Miss
Marvels.
Marvel was confirmed to be in that, right?
Yep.
Kamala Khan.
This
Yep.
one's for
She's
all
got her
the
show this
Marvels.
year, and then she'll be in the movie in the end of 2022. We got the release date for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's coming out February 17th, 2023. And then we have the official word that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out May 5th, 2023. No real surprise there. It was supposed to kick off Phase 3, or Phase 4 last year. And then the whole James Gunn getting fired and rehired and Rona and everything like that. It just pushed it back 3 years. But it is coming back out the weekend that we expected it to, which is the summer kickoff movie of.
Did you guys hear
2023.
the news with that, where Batista was been doing some interviews saying that this was going to be his final appearance as Drax, and then I think James Gunn tweeted after that, like, "There's no Guardians without you, man," or something, and so I think Gunn was kind of
I think he said like you're the only Drax, like because he was like, oh, Marvel will recast or something like that down the road and everything like that, and he's like, you're the only Drax. But I think James Gunn's last one is going to be Volume 3.
it sounded like Gunn wants it to be a trilogy, and so this will probably be his last Guardians movie.
That makes sense.
And Batista's been saying a lot of shit recently.
He always like runs his mouth.
Yeah, he does not have a problem being quiet.
Mhm.
He wants to be Bane. He's been like campaigning to be Bane for like the last year, I think.
He'd be a good Bane.
I mean, he's
He
fucking
was talking about how he
huge.
was talking about how he's too old to be Drax, and he's like at the same time also wants to be Bane.
Yeah.
Doesn't really.
Well, I guess with Bane, you would only have to do it one time. Like, he's already played Drax 4 times, and then he's going to be playing him in Thor, Guardians 3, and the Holiday Special.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the holidays.
Exactly. Maybe it's just like him wanting some variety.
Is
in
the
roles he
holiday
does.
the holiday special is 2022, right? It comes out right before. Okay.
Yeah, the end of 2022.
Okay.
And then he also,
Wait, is that the Sam Jackson announcement that I didn't watch?
No.
The holiday Oh, okay. What the hell's the holiday special?
It's like the Star Wars holiday special, but with Guardians.
Yeah, they're doing a. Oh, okay. Missed that, I guess.
James Gunn's writing, directing it. They're filming at the same time as Volume 3, along with like the footage that they'll need for the new Guardians ride in Disney World. They're gonna like do all that at once. But yeah, Batista, he could have been in the Suicide Squad, but he passed on that to do Army of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
He passed on Fast too. He said.
Oh, he did. Really? F9?
Interesting.
Yeah.
In the Cena role?
I think so. I remember seeing that. I kind of skimmed the article, but yeah, he said that it may not have been the Cena role. I think it was something smaller, and he passed on to do something where he'd actually get paid.
Gotcha.
I think it was the Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was getting paid better, and he would have bigger role and new connections from that.
Yeah, he's got to do it because you have to take bigger roles over just like the fancy blockbuster type things, or they're just going to use you as comedy relief.
Exactly.
From what I've heard, Army of the Dead is like a Batista-centric role, so
yeah, he's the lead, and the movie's supposed to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's got those glasses. Yeah. He looks really smart in it. So he's probably the smartest character.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk more about Batista in a sec. Something I did want to mention was they did have the Fantastic Four logo in that trailer. They didn't have a release date. I think my expectations are that it opens July 2023, like around the July 4th weekend. It would kind of tie in.
4.
Yeah, exactly. For Phase 4, like everything works perfectly, and that'll probably be the Phase 4 closer. But we didn't get anything about Deadpool 3, nothing about Blade, or nothing about like the Captain America 4, which has been mentioned ever since the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I would have guessed those would all be Phase 5 movies.
Yeah. I think they always played Blade off as being a Phase 5 movie because they basically said Mahershala Ali's going to play him. We have no fucking anything else.
Idea what we're doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's going to be a guy that fights vampires, and he's also a vampire himself.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's D23 this summer or just Comic-Con, but I imagine we will get some more exciting announcements over the next few months.
Are we getting another Fandom this summer?
End of the summer, I think.
October. We get it in October this year.
It's too late.
Yeah, so they got Suicide Squad in August. I imagine we'll get a Batman trailer there, and then Fandom will probably get like interviews with the cast and things like that.
You don't think they're gonna hold it for the fandom?
I mean, they might, but if you have a huge
If you don't have
movie,
like a Batman trailer, like that was the whole thing that drove everyone to fandom the last
I
time
mean,
around.
they can use the Flash and Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as
Yeah,
the
no.
big thing for mostly Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as the big thing for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
But-
got to put something out for Batman soon, because it's going to be a year and a couple months since that trailer came out, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
that was
It was
August.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some promotional art leaking from that. Been pretty interesting.
There was a feature that leaked too, like footage of it, of Catwoman.
That was
know what it's-
from that was from one of the movies that got released on digital. It was
Oh,
part of a
okay.
documentary. Yeah, they said a little bit about Catwoman, showed a couple things, nothing too crazy. I don't
Interesting.
know. I would like something, maybe some stills or something. Maybe throw them in a magazine. That'd be nice.
Like Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. That would
sure.
hold me over until October. If you gave me like a good spread in a magazine and I could see some pictures, see what everything was gonna look like. I need a little bit more. I need some stories.
You need a taste.
I need some pictures. Give me some.
All right, and then with other Dave Bautista news, he's been announced for the cast of Knives Out too. So he's going to be reuniting with Daniel Craig after working with him in Spectre. So that's pretty cool. We're also getting Edward Norton in the film, Janelle Monáe, and Catherine Hahn off of WandaVision. So those are the only ones we
Great
know
cast.
so far. Yeah, so far it's a very strong cast. It's a younger cast than what we got with Knives Out.
Yeah.
A lot of the character actors were a little bit older in that one, but there is still going to be a ton more now, like in casting announcements. That first movie had 10 plus decent sized names, so I'm expecting a bunch more in the next week or two. Since I believe they shoot next month in June, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I don't know. Any thoughts? Who do you think is going to end up being the bad guy if it's one of these four?
Oh man, I would say Edward Norton. I could see him.
Gotta be. He's gonna be the diversion. He's gonna be that.
He's going to be the red herring.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, Edward Norton can
Dude,
play
they're
the
like-
villain. He can do it.
He
Yeah.
100% play.
Like
the
we were
villain.
dancing.
He's a really good diversion.
Is that Primal Fear, Doug?
Yeah. Have you seen that or
No, we talked about it on here.
okay. So
Um,
good.
And there's going to be no characters other than Daniel Craig returning, right? No one. He's the only one.
I don't believe so. It's a completely different setting.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make. Yeah, it'd be weird to bring anyone back. It's similar to like the Death on the Nile,
Mhm.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just bring back the detective. Everyone else new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited for this. They're really doing a good job bringing in like good character actors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Yeah.
excited.
So we'll get that on Netflix and in theaters next year. Speaking of Netflix, Enola Holmes 2 was announced. Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill returning as Enola Holmes and Sherlock Holmes. First one was kind of a surprise and like that it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Better than I was expecting. I thought Henry Cavill was really good as Sherlock, so I'm excited to see more of him in this one. I hope is he has a bigger role than he did in the first one. Doug or JP, did you catch this one?
No, this didn't really appeal to me. I just looked.
Yeah, same.
I liked it.
No, I get that, but it was definitely a solid movie for what it was. So I'll check out the second one when it comes out. Be interesting to see who they get as like the villain. If they do like a Moriarty, bring him in or something like that. I don't know if he's in the books that they're based on or anything, but it'd be pretty cool. And then Tom Hanks' latest movie is going to Apple TV Plus. So just like last year when Greyhound went to
Greyhound, yeah.
Apple TV Plus, his movie coming out this summer, Bios it was called. Now it's called Finch. It'll be coming out sometime this year. But I think it has to do with him and a robot dog or something, if I'm not mistaken. It kind of sounds like Chappie. that one that I don't think any of us saw with the robot.
I almost
Uh,
watched that the other day. I
Yeah.
Did
couldn't
you?
remember anything?
Yeah, I
was in,
didn't
like, a
see
Neil
Chappie.
Goldcamp mood for some reason.
Yeah, but Tom Hanks has basically become the Apple TV Plus guy,
Good for him.
where they just keep buying his shit. So we'll talk about that one when we eventually get a trailer. And then lastly, I had to bring this up because I just find the idea ridiculous. They are making How I Met Your Father with Hilary Duff.
I did see this.
Ugh.
It's a show.
It's in the same it's a show. It's in the same like universe and everything.
I
How
never-
horrible does that sound?
I never
No.
watched the original, so I don't.
God.
The original was good for a
Few seasons.
while before it kind of like fell off.
So this is a prequel.
It is such a relic of like the 2000s at this point.
Hmm.
It's like Dexter. Like
Yeah.
it was
well.
good, and then like it got terrible, and now it's coming back.
Yeah, but like, what I find like How I Met Your Mother worked because it had like a lot of good actors too. Like it had Jason Segel in it,
Yeah.
Allison Hannigan.
Are you saying that Hilary Duff is not a good actress? Are we prepared?
I'm not saying that. I'm interested to see what the ensemble cast is going to be because I thought How I Met Your Mother worked because it was such a good ensemble. Like it was a lot of
Yeah,
good
it definitely was.
comedians together.
And I believe in back maybe in like 2000, I don't know, 15 or 16, CBS was ordered a pilot for How I Met Your Father with Greta Gerwig in the main role, and then they didn't end up picking it up. And then she went on and directed like Lady Bird and Little Women. So like that sort of alternate universe where she's doing a crappy sitcom versus directing Academy Award like winning movies is pretty weird to think about. And then going from her like an indie darling to Hilary Duff just seems like a I don't know. It seems like a more accurate casting for what How I Met Your Mother was, but it just seems like it's going to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna check that out.
No, neither will I.
So is she gonna be like
Neither.
the mother, the younger mother, or is she the Bob Saget character that's narrating?
She's gonna be the younger.
Oh, so it's a
okay.
prequel.
No.
To- no.
It's just like the same type of story.
Oh, I've never watched the original, so I don't.
She
even know
wasn't
what
on the
to say.
original show,
Okay.
so it's its own terrible thing.
Yeah,
All right.
I guess. Guess we'll see. I mean, the whole point of How I Met Your Mother too was like everyone was like, "Oh, I can't wait to see like how he actually met the mother." But now it's like because you saw it happen. I don't know, it's
I'm
stupid.
sure
I
it'll be
hate it.
successful. I'm sure people will watch it. It'll be on for a few
Nah.
seasons.
Yeah. I don't
Who's
know.
gonna watch it? I watch it a lot.
It's
Murph
gonna
had
be
watched
like
it a lot.
it's gonna be like that
Watch
80s
the whole
show.
thing.
It's gonna be done in
Yeah,
this season.
JP watched it. None of us want to see it.
Pennyworth is still on.
Yeah, but that's at least a somewhat original idea. It's not a shitty spin-off of a show that ended fairly fucking poorly.
Very
starring
badly.
Hilary Duff.
Like when people talk about bad series finales of the past 20 years, it's Dexter and How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Like on the drama and comedy side, respectively. So yeah, I think it left a bitter taste, and I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna do.
Underwhelming.
Then with the release dates with another TV show, we found out Loki's moving up 2 days. It's going to be airing on Wednesdays instead of Fridays. So Disney Plus is kind of experimenting finally with when they put out their shows, which thank God for that because it would be really shitty when Star Wars and Marvel are airing shows on the same day and trying to like digest all that crap on the internet. So now there's going to be some room to breathe between all these shows. And I don't know about you guys, but I would prefer watching like the new episodes of TV show on a Wednesday night versus a Friday. Because
Well, I think too,
breaks
like
it up.
you got, yeah. Well, they got to take Friday when it was like still height of COVID. No one was going out on a Friday. But like as things started opening up, like Fridays aren't going to be so easy to like pull people back in anymore.
Exactly. They have competition for movies, competition from just people going out and doing things. Compared to before where they really had nothing. And like this will really be the first Disney Plus show since the first season of The Mandalorian that's coming out with the world not being like fucking insane. Because Mandalorian season 2 and every Marvel show so far has been during the pandemic. So by the time Loki comes out on June 9th, things are going to be not back to normal, but considerably better than they were when WandaVision was on or anything like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Might mean they honestly take a hit in numbers.
They definitely could.
Yeah.
We will see very soon. Probably get another trailer of that one soon. Did you see the poster? There's like a little cartoon clock in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going with cartoons just to get the kids happy.
Yeah.
Probably be the pop culture phenomenon of the summer. Little clock.
Baby clock.
That's what they're banking on.
Yeah.
Another toy.
All right, now let's get into trailer talk. We got a lot today. We got 5 of them. So let's just start from the newest trailer release to the oldest one. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Some of you guys were like fairly kind of big on G.I. Joe back in the day.
I think it looks fun. I mean, I know we had this conversation. I didn't even know that this was coming out until like last night or 2 nights ago. But I mean, it looks fun. I like the lead. He's from Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Seems like a fun movie. Will it be good? I don't know, but it looks like a blast to go see. Get some popcorn.
You're all about the popcorn.
Always.
Looks like the Fast 9 of G.I. Joe movies, I guess.
Yeah,
Just
they have like the dance music in the background.
slow-mo action and music and.
You're not going to be seeing it, Doug?
No, this looks like garbage.
It looks just as generic as every other one of those G.I. Joe movies. If Snake Eyes didn't have the helmet, you've no fucking idea who he was.
It's also very
Just
weird that
another
they
samurai ninja guy.
It's very weird that they decided to even do this because when did what Rise of the Cobra? When did that come out? Like 5 years ago?
Yeah, longer than 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, it feels like longer than
Like
Rises.
I just
one.
don't. Who greenlit this and thought that this was a good idea? No one cares.
Paramount greenlit this.
I mean, it just seems like a silly
Rise
waste
of-
of money.
Rise of Cobra came out in 2009.
Yeah.
That's insane.
When
That's how long it feels.
When the second one came out, 2013, 14?
I think that was the second.
Yeah, that is the second one, isn't
I
it?
think that is the.
I think that was.
I don't know.
It's definitely the first one.
I remember seeing the first one in
Yeah,
theaters,
Joe.
and it was terrible.
2013, yeah.
Oh, okay.
was
What
the
was
second one.
what was the name of the second
The
one?
second one came out after 21 Jump Street, and they had to like shoot some stuff to get Channing Tatum in more of it.
Yeah.
It was called G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
The second one.
that one I didn't see, but it's just a strange movie. I
We're
think.
getting 2 ninja movies like a month apart with this and Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Wonder if I don't expect it to do any damage on Shang-Chi.
No. It'll.
I
Probably
was thinking
crash
it
and burn.
like kind of reminds me of like a way shittier version of Shang-Chi with the like ninja stuff going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Is
This
it
is my least
though?
favorite out of the trailers.
Interesting play pattern.
No, it's not. Just an adjective I threw in.
All right, how about the Forever Purge, the 5th and supposedly final installment of the Purge
It's
series?
forever, so it's just gonna keep going forever.
I mean,
yeah, we'll see.
I think it looks like a blast. I like most of these movies. I've always had fun seeing them, and this one looks way different than all the other ones that have come out. Just looks like, crazy fun type of thing.
Yeah, I do
I-
like the
like,
I
what's-
like the Western setting to this one.
Yeah.
Definitely differentiates itself from the past 3,
Like the different factions.
like being in cities or like urban areas. I think this one looks kind of cool. So I'm excited for this one. Doug, what were you gonna say?
I was like just trying to figure out what the hell was going on with the story because they were
I'm
like
guessing. Have you seen any of them?
like the first 2 maybe, but they were
Okay.
just like the purge is over and then like people pop out and they're like the purge isn't over the
Yeah,
purge
I
is
think-
forever. Like it's the forever purge now, and it's always going to be the purge. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
The
and,
purge-
like it seemed like government was like toppled, and it was just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
purge city.
this one takes place immediately after the purge election year, and in that one, the new president who gets elected was um, canceling the purge, and then people were like fighting the results of the election, like during like right before like the credits and stuff like that. It turned out to be very prescient to
Yeah.
this last election. But for what what I'm predicting is happening is that people are just refusing that the purge is canceled and they're just continuing it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
not
you
only
wouldn't
is
be
the
able to
purge
take the
not
purge away. Like people
yeah,
are
not only is the purge not canceled though, it seems like it's like
forever.
not it's going to be the purge every day now. Like
Yeah.
every day is the purge.
Everyday
It's
purge.
the world's a fucking shit. It looks like it's going to turn into like complete dystopian Mad Max shit.
Yeah, it
just
looks
'cause
like
they
Mad.
came up with a horrible idea.
It looks like
Uh,
Mad
Move the
Max, in all
people off
honesty.
the purge. You gotta have like 3/4 of a purge day, and then half of a purge day, and then 1/4 of a purge day, then petty crime purge.
Yeah, you
Go
gotta
slow.
you can't take it away all at once. It's just too much.
And
You
then
gotta
there's
break into doses.
purge day, and then you're done. And then no one wants to commit crimes anymore, and you're good.
They
And then
they
you
just
go back to
did it too
committing
quickly.
crimes normally.
They did it way too fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks different. So for that reason alone, I'm looking forward to it.
They
Um,
are the masters of awesome masks and costumes and
Yeah.
shit.
they
Yeah, they do-
basically, yeah, they look like just Halloween experts.
Yeah.
So cool.
I've seen some really cool purge costumes in the last like 5 years.
I regret not we checking out that purge area when we were in Universal all those years ago for Fright Night.
Mhm.
That probably was wild. But these
Yeah,
costume designers of these movies just come up with some of the coolest fucking costumes for these people to wear. Like they spend the whole year picking out their purge costume and it shows. It's a good
It's-
fucking job.
it's like Halloween on steroids. Like how much effort
Yeah.
they all put
I
into
was
it.
thinking that too when I was watching it. I was like, wow, these guys they spend all year planning for that purge. Just like I'm
They're
gonna
not
have
even
the best
thinking about how
costume.
they're gonna kill people. They're just planning on winning the purge
Yeah.
costume.
There's
contest.
there's an award afterwards where it's like best costume.
best kill, best costume.
Best makeup.
Oh man. Yeah, I like these skeleton cowboys and like the scarecrow mask. Yeah, this is cool. I look forward to these masks coming out for Halloween.
Yeah. All right. Now another one. JP, this one was actually on your list of most anticipated movies of the year.
Yeah.
We got another look at The Green Knight with Dev Patel.
Super weird.
Yeah, it looks really weird.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like an A24 like
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that either.
type of movie.
It's like
So
Pan's
it's
Labyrinth.
not your like typical fantasy movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be like trippy.
But that's like what these Arthurian legends are all about. They're weird and they don't make a whole lot of fucking sense. It's just such a weird. I don't know if you remember this story from like England.
Yeah, in high school.
The dude just chops the fucking guy's head off, and he's like, "Cool, thanks for doing that. I'm gonna chop your head off in a year," and he just fucking pieces. And then this dude's got to sit there for a whole year thinking, like, do I go through with it? Do I go and get my head chopped off, or do I basically end my life as a knight and get branded as like a chicken shit? It's
Yeah.
a cool idea, and just it looks so fantastical that I mean, the talking fox. I'm not super big, but I don't really like when animals talk to people. But I think that's fucking weird.
It's got a Guillermo del Toro like Pan's Labyrinth feel to it. That's
It does.
Yeah.
It's a weird world.
yeah.
And it looks like a lot of fun. It doesn't look like a lot of fun. It looks the opposite of a lot of fun, but it looks cool.
It looks like it could end up being like they're not showing that much of the movie, but it could end up being something like kind of scary, like or at least really like what the hell, like horrific in some way, especially since it's A24. Like that trailer was it was hard to kind of understand exactly what was going on purpose. It just seems like it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna focus on like his journey to get there and kind of what he goes through. Wondering whether or not he's gonna go through with it.
I thought his axe was quite large.
Yeah.
Big axe.
Yeah.
It was like this huge fucking thing that he had to like try to wield.
I love that the knight was like a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was fucking cool.
Yeah, I had to look that up. I was like, wait, is the guy with the axe the Green Knight, or is the Green Knight the tree fucking thing? And it's the tree, apparently.
Yeah. So in the story, the Green Knight's the one that comes to the Knights of the Round Table and challenges them to a fight, like a shot for shot, but you get a year for it. So he's just Sir Gawain. I don't know how to say it, but he's one of the Knights of the Round Table.
Yep.
It's cool. It looks neat.
And yeah, it comes out when July or August.
Midsummer,
like
I
that.
think, something like that.
Yeah, like we got Snake Eyes at the end of July, Forever Purge for Independence Day weekend.
July 30th comes out.
July 30th. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next one that we're talking about, Stillwater, I think that comes out July 30th also. So we're not going to cover these 4 movies in our summer movie preview since we're talking about them now, just to make that clear. But clearly we're looking forward to some of them. Yeah, Stillwater is a drama with Matt Damon from the director of Spotlight, Dr. Bob from Meet the Parents. Yeah, he directed Spotlight. And Abigail Breslin, she plays Matt Damon's daughter. I guess she's going overseas for something and gets accused of like murder. And Matt Damon's
It's
trying
based
to.
on like that.
It sounds like it's based on that
seems
true
very
story.
film. Like I remember the story of. Like it sounded like a story I remember hearing on like
Yeah.
60 Minutes or something like years ago.
Yeah, the girl was in an Italian jail for like years.
Right.
For apparently killing her like roommate or something like that.
I don't know if she ever actually got thrown in jail for that, but she was on trial forever.
Yeah, I think she was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was on trial in Italy forever. Eventually,
Amanda Knox.
Yes.
That one. Yeah.
So it does seem to be somewhat inspired by that.
Right.
But yeah, you're dealing with Matt Damon as a
chunky Matt Damon too. He put on some pounds.
Yeah, he pissed off Fat Damon. Trying.
I like the accent too that he's got going in this movie. He's like little Southern. He's got like the goatee going. It's kind of a fun role for Matt Damon.
Looks out of character, which is cool. But what did you guys think of this one? Something you're.
This was my favorite. This was my favorite trailer out of the ones that we've watched so far. I watched this one. I was like, oh, this looks really cool. I don't know if like I'm gonna be completely misled by the trailer, but the drama seemed interesting. I thought it seemed like one of Matt Damon's more interesting roles that he's played. I've never seen him play this character before, and the parts they showed, like I bought him as that character.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this was like for a movie I had no idea it was coming out and what it was about. It wound up being my favorite trailer out of the bunch.
Yeah, this was one that was supposed to come out last year, but they had never put out a trailer or anything, and it just kind of got pushed back to an undisclosed date, and finally it was like, all right, we're putting it out in the summer, and here's a trailer. So
I didn't really keep my attention. I was kind of bored. I was kind of waiting for him to start blowing shit up and being like American Sniper guy.
Well, like fucking Liam Neeson and Taken.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really get it.
The concept to me sounded better than the trailer, but I'm definitely gonna see it. And my hope is the final product is more exciting than the trailer. But the concept is cool. Something that nobody wants to be in, but cool.
Oh yeah. No, I mean the idea of going to trial in a foreign country is now right up there on like my
number one fears.
Not number one, but it's up there after watching a lot of documentaries about how other countries' legal systems work.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah, I mean that's always been my thing. I've always said that is like I'm all for like traveling different places, but I want to travel somewhere where like I feel somewhat okay about their legal system.
You don't have to prove your innocence to be not thrown in jail, like guilty until proven innocent. Like no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we were talking to like in Arizona was talking about like, oh yeah, like you may take a day trip to Mexico, and it's like, but you gotta make sure you carry cash with you because cops are probably gonna stop you and want to bribe, and it's like, I don't know if that's the legal system I want to like subject myself to.
I mean, even worse than the cops, if you get stopped by like a cartel guy that wants to give you a bribe, there's no jail in cartel land. It's, you know, your car's on fire and you're inside of it.
Yeah, your head's chopped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard pass on that.
Yeah.
All right, and then our final trailer is Venom, Let There Be Carnage, coming out in September. This one's directed by Andy Serkis. Interesting choice.
Oh, wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was the director of Zombieland, so they're switching it up for this one. Looks more comedic than the first one from the trailers.
They leaned into that,
which was a little surprising, based on
Was
like
it
the
funny?
title and everything. Like, what'd you say? It wasn't funny.
I said, but was it funny? 'Cause I didn't find it
yeah.
particularly funny.
Like, it was fine, I guess. I don't know.
It had its
don't know what
funny
to think of
moments.
this. I don't know what to think about this one. Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be terrible
Probably.
because the first one wasn't very good, and it seems like they're kind of going all in on what didn't work. Like, they're trying to make it like a movie that looks goofy because, like, I think that's what they thought people enjoyed about the first one, with like a so bad, so good type quality. But it'd be good to just get a good Venom movie.
It's pretty wild that they're gonna be, if assuming this one's bad, they're gonna be 0 for 3 with arguably the movie that most fans want to see. Like, everyone's clamoring for that Venom movie, and they're just fucking swinging and missing constantly.
Not only that, but then
with
you're
3 different teams of creative. Like,
Yeah.
not any of them can get it right.
not only that, but then you're also including one of the most popular like Marvel villains,
Yup.
Carnage. Venom
Carnage.
versus Carnage is like.
What'd you think of Woody?
Ridiculous. I think
In
he looks.
comparison
Pretty
to
good.
I think he
in
looks pretty
comparison to
awesome.
that horrible post-credit scene.
Oh my god, with
in,
that Ruby's
yeah.
wig.
the original Venom.
Yeah, I
I
think
thought
he
he
looks
was the
great.
best part of the trailer for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was Woody. The majority of it was like the fucking sitcom between Venom and Tom Hardy.
And the convenience store lady.
Yeah.
Just very.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like
I was
30
like,
bill
what is-
based on the amount of time she's in the trailer.
I was like, what is this movie like going to be about? It's just like Venom's just like a good chunk of the trailer is Venom cooking breakfast for Tom Hardy. Is like, I was like, what is going
And
on?
speaking like gibberish language.
Yeah, it's super.
He's like singing
super
or
strange.
something to the song. I don't know. It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a weird place to go with such a dark character.
Yeah.
Just go like the comedy route. But
It's like an Invader Zim type humor where it's just so fucked up and weird that it's so off-putting that it can't be funny. Like, I remember watching something like Invader Zim and being like, I'm just so fucking disturbed on another level about what's going on that I can't laugh. Like, they're ripping people's skin off and shit, and it's supposed to be funny. I'm like, yeah.
It's on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Yeah, Nickelodeon back in the day.
All right. So yeah, I don't think any of us are too excited about this one, but I imagine we'll check it out just out of curiosity's sake.
I know I will.
Yeah, I know you will. I think you were the only one who actually saw the first one in theaters of the 4 of us.
Still haven't seen the first one.
I don't even remember. Did I see it in theaters?
I don't know. I know I didn't.
Oh yeah, no, I did. I did. Yeah, I did. Out of curiosity, like I probably will this
you're
one.
Sick bastard.
Morbid curiosity.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it. Let's dive into what we watched. We've got a lot. So Corey, kick us off with season 2 of Mythic Quest.
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I guess 2 weeks ago at this point, I jumped into Mythic Quest season 2 when it launched. Oddly, they're doing a staggered release, weekly episodes. They put up the first 2 episodes 2 weeks ago, and then last Friday, they put the 3rd episode up. So far, I'm actually really impressed. I've said this before to you guys. I really like the first season. I know we watched a bunch with Doug. Doug's finished it. Murph, you've seen a couple episodes.
I've actually seen it too.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Are you?
I thought it was fucking horrible.
Really? Okay.
I thought it was one of the worst TV shows I've watched in a long time.
Wow.
How many episodes did you watch?
I watched every episode of season 1.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
I have a lot of opinions about it.
Mm.
None of them good.
None of them good.
Yeah, I only saw like 2 episodes, so I can't like be like the biggest judge of the show.
One thing I liked about season 2 so far is they toned down the like video game-ness of it, like the very like jokes basically that only like people that are really super into video games would understand. And they started to like really flesh out like characters that they kind of ignored in the first season. It's turning into an Office type of show. Like that's how I feel it is. But I'm enjoying it. I think because I really like the characters. Some of the storylines in the first season I didn't really care for, but I liked most of them. But the way they're utilizing the characters so far in this season, I've actually like really enjoyed, and I think the writing has gotten better. I didn't have any issues with the writing the last season, but I just think like it's improved quite a bit. So I'm definitely enjoying it so far.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like before JP shits all over it. I like Mythic Quest too. I think it's fun. It's not like
on it.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear like what you didn't like about it.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, even season 2, I turned it on, and it's a Zoom meeting.
Pootie Boy or something?
Yo, that was
Pootie
really
Shoe.
bad, too.
Pootie Shoe.
Pootie
That was like one of the 2 episodes I saw.
Yo, turning on season 2 and they're all in a Zoom meeting was too fucking real, and I was like, okay, I'm not watching this bullshit.
Was that one of the didn't they have 2
Yeah.
specials in
the
between?
quarantine
Yeah,
seasons?
they had
episode probably. Yeah, that
came
probably
out-
wasn't actually season 2.
That came out
Oh,
last
so
year.
fucking
That came
hot.
out last year.
Yeah.
That came out like during the height of COVID.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a good job with that because
Well, they nailed
made it
it.
work
Yeah, it was
for
just a
me.
little too fucking real.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
yeah,
The other special was good as well. The one that came out a couple weeks ago.
Man, I don't
that
know.
Anthony Hopkins narrated.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
Did you not
I
like
just-
the characters? Is
I
that
feel like this show was written by someone who pretends to be a nerd and just generalize shit to the point where it's just so fucking off base of someone that plays video games. I thought most of the characters sucked, except for the assistant. I thought she was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that
that's
the-
great.
yeah,
from
Joe.
Better Call Saul, right?
Yes, that girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's in Better Call Saul? Okay.
Yeah, she's the lawyer that like. I forget where that law firm was located, but she was
Yeah,
the lawyer that like runs circles around Jimmy.
I thought she was hilarious. Pretty much no one else I thought was funny. I just thought the jokes were awful. Just the whole feel of the show, as someone who plays video games, watches Twitch streams and shit, it was just so fucking like, I don't know, foreign and cringy to me. I cringed so much during this show that I don't know why I watched the whole thing. I think I was just like, you know what? It's 10 episodes. I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to watch this. And I'm going to have an opinion about it at the end. And I turned it off and this fucking sucked.
I mean, you had an opinion, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you were
fair.
right there.
And
Did
it was
it remind
also
you of
right
Silicon
after
Valley
finishing.
at all?
Silicon Valley had its finger on the pulse. It feels like a Silicon Valley where they had no fucking idea what technology was.
Gotcha.
And I thought I thought Poppy was a fucking atrocious actress. I thought
she was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I
one
liked
I
her.
like Poppy.
She's
She's
black
the
hair.
Australian Asian.
The main girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought she was awful. I thought Danny Pudi was not nearly as bad as I thought he would be in like a
I
straight
don't.
role.
He's my least favorite
Yeah.
because I don't think he works well in a straight role.
Yeah. And then the writer guy, the weird old out of touch guy, was kind of
CW.
okay.
I love
Yeah,
CW.
was fine. Rickety Cricket.
Oh, he's great. He's insane. David.
Prefer
The
being
community
completely
manager
fucked
was funny. The really positive woman.
Yeah.
I thought she was funny, but yeah, it was just fucking. Ugh.
It definitely
I-
had its moments of being tone deaf, like a little bit, and I cringed a bit, like with some jokes that didn't land for me. But as a whole, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. Sounds like your complaints is why I hate Big Bang Theory because I feel like that
Yeah,
show's
that was
pretty off the
gonna.
pole.
I was gonna
it
mention that.
reminded me of like
I could
Big
definitely
Bang.
see that.
That is not a good thing to be compared to.
No.
Well, no, his like hatred, the way he describes his hatred for Mythic Quest reminded me very much of
Yeah.
my hatred for Big Bang Theory.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But no,
that's not good.
I actually like Mythic Quest. I did not like Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I put
So
them
sorry for
kind of
that.
side by side with that kind of weird cringe nerd thing.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
could
Maybe,
equate it
like,
to that too.
I had just finished Ted Lasso too, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just
Mhm.
watch this now," and it's just
Wait, did we talk about you watching Ted Lasso?
no, because I watched it in the week that we weren't doing it.
Oh shit!
Why is it not your show? that you
Bonus,
have on here?
bonus for JP. Bonus for JP.
I'm committed to the horrible Adam Sandler movies.
Oh man,
Shame.
we'll let you talk about two today if you want.
No, I don't really feel like talking about two. We're gonna have to hold on to my thoughts about Ted Lasso.
So can we just get like a thumbs up, thumbs down on Ted
Oh,
Lasso?
it was much worse than Mythic Quest. No, it was great. Ted
Wait.
Lasso's fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, I'm leaving.
No,
This
it was
is over.
wonderful. No, I can't wait for it to come back. Ted Lasso's
Very soon.
yeah, very soon.
All
Many
right,
more.
we'll hear more about your thoughts in the next couple weeks.
Having like dopamine withdrawals because I can't watch Ted Lasso.
You don't have the pleasure
Yeah,
of Ted Lasso.
makes you
I
so
mean,
happy.
Talk about a show that has
Feel
no
good.
fucking drama and everything just works out fine and it's just happy. I love it.
Yeah,
Make yourself
That's
some
perfect.
biscuits and watch Ted Lasso.
You don't need conflict to have a
Yeah.
good show.
You have good characters, like that's all you need.
just like it's a nice warm blanket that you can kind of snuggle up with and just
Now, Corey,
yeah,
you're gonna have to
enjoy it.
watch Ted Lasso.
yeah.
I figured the Ted Lasso talk's good for when season 2 comes out.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I'm not feeling it.
You should probably watch it because it's like it makes you very happy.
Yeah.
It's like good and stuff.
And all three of us like
I've already gotten
there's a
suckered in.
consensus that we all liked it.
I've already gotten suckered into Schitt's Creek, and I'm like not really into it.
Okay, then don't watch that and watch Ted Lasso.
Yeah, switch it up. Watch 10 episodes of Ted Lasso instead of the next 30 of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
I haven't legitimately watched Schitt's Creek, so
If
you
you haven't
gotten
liked
the
Schitt's
3
Creek by
box.
half of the show, then you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I'm like, I like aspects of it, but I'm not like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm season 3, but it's neither here nor there. Maybe I'll watch Ted Lasso.
If you're into season 3 of a show and you're not digging it, you're not gonna just suddenly love the show.
That's what everyone has been saying to me. It takes a couple seasons.
What is it? 5 seasons long?
I think you're past a
5 or
couple
6.
seasons.
6 seasons. The tone changes a lot in 3, but if you're not liking it by like halfway through 3, then it's too late. All right. Since we've gone way off topic, Doug, you want to get into yours?
Yeah, and this is gonna be a hard one to talk about.
Wahlberg?
No, there's a new superhero cartoon show on the street called Invincible. It's based on a comic run from the same creator that did Walking Dead. His name is escaping me right now. Popular series. They decided to bring it to Amazon Prime. They got a great voice acting cast with Steven Yeun from Walking Dead. J.K. Simmons is one of the lead roles. You got Jillian Jacobs, Zazie Bates, Rogan, Mark Hamill, Walter Goggins. Like you just have like name after name on this show. Yeah, it's violent. It's adult. it's hard to talk about without spoiling it too much, but the general gist, and it's going to make it sound like more wholesome and more straightforward than it really is, but um, the main character who's voiced by Stephen Yeun is his father is a superhero called Omni-Man, and that's the one that's voiced by J.K. Simmons. He's basically like a Superman like character.
That's the meme,
but
right? That's where he's doing this. The meme. You
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
it?
Is that a meme? No.
He's, like,
Yeah, I think.
he's staring next to
Yeah,
someone dead, and he's like, "Gotta think, man."
yeah, I think
Oh.
you're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, J.K. Simmons voices
Mhm.
Omni-Man. It's perfect because Omni-Man, if sounds like you're familiar with what he looks like, but he's this. He's got like a big mustache and
He looks
like
like the
kind of
kid
like a
from
gray
Spider-Man.
streak in his hair, and so it just like works out perfect that it's J.K. Simmons. And I now like with the mustache cut of Henry Cavill, like maybe Henry Cavill in the live action version of this because they're doing a live action version of this. Grow out that mustache again and be Omni-Man. But yeah, going back to what the story's about, kids growing up, basically figures out that he has superpowers that were passed on to him from his dad, and kind of just coming to grips with the superpowers. But there's so much fucked up story elements in there that I can't talk about. But yeah, it's cool. It's definitely worth watching. It's super graphic, super dark.
It sounds like
But
a
really
little
cool.
offshoot of The Boys, kind of. It sounds like
It's
they
so
kinda
much.
made
It's
Yeah,
like
it does.
yeah. So I've heard people compare it to The Boys because it's superheroes and it's dark and it's bloody, but it's so much darker than The Boys. It's so much bloodier than The Boys.
wow.
It's hard to like compare because it's a cartoon, so they can just like fucking go crazy, and they do go crazy. But it works. There's stakes. Um, and the whole dynamic between Omni-Man and his son is just like a really cool dynamic that they explore throughout the season. And it's, I would say, like, if you're on the fence about it, watch the first episode, and there'll be a point where you're like, okay, this episode's over. Like, I don't really get what's going on. And then you'll look, and there's like 20 minutes left. Once you get through those like extra 20 minutes, like, see if it's for you. And if it's for you, great, keep watching. If not, don't. But like, got hooked after that like back half because that's where it kind of that's where things kind of start to get real. But like I said, it's kind of a weird one to talk about on here just because I don't want to spoil the story because the turn in this thing and a lot of the mystery behind it is what makes it cool. But there's a lot of it's a fun show. Let's have another adult cartoon show on here, and it's probably one of the better things I've seen on TV recently. Not every episode's a winner, but it ends so strong with that last episode that it's definitely one of the higher up things. And then stuck Jupiter's Legacy on here for Netflix. I only got halfway through the first episode, but I put on here as a warning: do not watch this show. It's not good. I could tell when I immediately turned it on Netflix. It looked like something somebody made on YouTube.
I didn't
They must have had no budget going into this show. Everything's horrible. The effects are horrible. The story's horrible. The acting's horrible. I cannot
Any actor
watch.
that's notable
If you're on the
that?
fence, yeah, the guy that. Hold on.
It's Mark
Oh,
Millar. It's Mark Millar.
Notable. Is that his
wrote
name?
it.
Okay,
Mark
I've
Millar
seen him
wrote
in
it.
stuff.
Of
Yeah.
Kick-Ass fame.
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel.
I read this.
Yeah, Josh Duhamel.
I read this like more than 5 or 6 years ago, probably like 6 years ago, back when the comic, and the comic sucked.
Okay, I read that this was supposed
So-
to be Netflix's answer to The Boys. I don't know if that was overblown.
I was so confused because it's terrible.
But it's horrible. It's not good. They had no budget going into this. It's obvious from like the first frame of this show. If you were like thinking about watching Jupiter's Legacy, just go to Amazon Prime, watch Invincible. It's so much better. I even if you don't like cartoons, like just deal with it. It's graphic, it's adult. You'll like it.
How many seasons of Invincible are there so far? Just one?
This was just the first season that
Okay.
aired. Yeah, but there'll be more.
Yeah,
Apparently the story gets crazier and
Yeah. It does.
more elaborate as it goes. But yeah, season 1 I thought was awesome.
Yeah, I
The
gotta check that out.
picture of Josh Duhamel with long hair and a beard in Jupiter's
Mhm.
Legacy, he looks like Eric Christian
It's
Olsen.
so bad.
I actually remember seeing this picture and thinking, "Oh, great! Eric Christian Olsen is a fucking superhero. That's wonderful." I had no idea it was Josh
It's so
Duhamel.
bad.
Oh, that's rough. Ah, that's rough, man.
It's all so bad.
It looks
Yeah.
the costumes look fucking awful.
The costumes are awful. The effects are awful. Everything about this show is awful. Like, and they're like half the show, more than half the show, they're all aged up, and it's like should have spent some more money on like makeup because these guys don't look good.
Yikes.
Yeah, it wasn't good. If anyone else like on Twitch thinks I'm wrong and like loves this show, or is listening to this on YouTube or whatever streaming service and thinks I'm wrong, let us know. Let us know why you like the show because I couldn't find anything redeeming about it. So if someone's really passionate about it, I'd love to hear from you.
I'm sure there's someone out there.
All right. Let's go into JP's self form of torture. His masochism streak of Adam Sandler Netflix movies.
Adam Sandler Netflix movies. It was great because I got to wait 2 whole weeks and not watch one. I just watched this today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got to hold off. And wow, this actually had a story to it, and it didn't really need to be a comedy, but they tried to make it a comedy, and that's why it sucked.
They tried to do a Happy Madison it.
Yeah, it was simultaneously like one of the most hellish ideas in the world, and actually kind of touching. I didn't expect to be like heartfelt. So it's the week of, and it's Adam Sandler plays a father who's putting kind of holding together the wedding for his daughter. She's marrying Chris Rock's child, and his whole Long Island family is converging on his house. And as the movie goes on, more and more people start staying at his house, and that's fucking nightmarish because
It's not a big house at all.
not a big house, and they kind of hit the nail on the head of what it's like to have a flock of Northeasterners staying in your house. Everyone's very annoying. They say the same fucking shit every single day. And so he has an accent in this movie, right? And it's a little hammy and very unnecessary, but holy shit, they managed to cast the only woman that can go like toe to toe with him with horrible, shitty accents.
Rachel Dratch.
So fucking terrible. She is awful at accents and like just hams it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She doesn't even attempt to do them like good. I think
No.
she just goes like as far into like the ridiculousness of an accent as possible.
It's so bad. So like it's like he toned his down a little bit, and she just went fucking full throttle. And she does it all the time. Like everything I've seen her in, I don't think she has a real voice. I think she's just like a caricature. Like the Pak Ka
Yeah.
commercial, and she just starts screaming things in that commercial too.
She screams a lot in this movie too.
She does, and they scream at each other
Yeah, a
for
lot.
no reason. It was like surprisingly dark.
Yeah. It's different.
It's very different, and I get what you said about this. Is not a vacation movie.
Yeah.
This is not like his wife's not this supermodel that's co-starring with him. It's set in a crappy little like 3-bedroom house in Long Island, and I love the jokes they make about that when everyone comes over for the wedding. Like, oh, I just can't wait to be in New York City. He's like, actually, it's about an hour and a half to New York City with traffic 3 hours because we're on Long Island.
Yeah.
They're
Like
saying
Chris Rock's the one doing the vacation movie.
yeah, Chris Rock is he gets to be in like beautiful hotel rooms with beautiful women all the time, and he gets to play up the unlikely fact that he is a rich surgeon.
Yeah.
Which I don't see Chris Rock being a rich surgeon. But yeah, he's like a celebrity surgeon.
He's not even in it that much. Like it's really just an
Yeah,
Adam
no.
Sandler movie. Like it
Yeah.
makes it look like it's a co-starring role, but it's a Sandler movie.
Yeah, and it's really just Adam Sandler. I mean, he's in it for the vast majority of it, and he kind of holds the whole thing.
You just watch him like suffering throughout.
Oh my god,
So
this
many
movie is
indignities.
fucking stressful. He's just constantly trying to put this wedding together for his daughter, and they're not very wealthy people, and Chris Rock's very wealthy. He keeps offering to pay for it. Oh man, this
Yeah, he just
fucking
has
movie
his pride
stressed
where
me
he doesn't
out.
want to like take the
Yeah.
money and things like that. Like, oh man, when they're at that like dumpy hotel and like like water's like dripping down and things like that.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's rough to watch, and just like him trying to come up with excuses for everything.
It's
It's
just
like it's cringy.
it is, but at the same time, like I felt very overwhelmed the last couple weeks, and watching this movie didn't fucking help because it kind of hits the nail on the head of someone being so overwhelmed and so out of their fucking like depth,
Mhm.
and just trying to keep a happy face and keep everyone going. And it just
Yeah,
he nailed it with that. Like if this movie wasn't a comedy, it could have actually been some sort of like a heartfelt dramedy type, like a wedding singer type
yeah, exactly.
deal. But they had a lot of really cheesy, stupid jokes in it. I don't know.
It seemed like he like made the movie as like what his life could have been with his daughters if he didn't end up being the super successful guy like
yeah,
he is.
yeah.
Like
I,
just living out in like in New York, like not in like the city, and
Long
just
Island, yeah,
trying to get by day, and
yeah,
be as good as you can to your kids.
yeah. There was some good stuff in this movie, and I don't know why it has the same Rotten Tomatoes rating as Sandy Wexler, because this was worlds better than that movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by this. It kind of hit me in the chest today when I was watching this. Um, yeah, but the comedy was just fucking terrible in it.
Yeah, it still has the fucking absurd Adam Sandler comedy that he's been doing since like the early 2000s.
But he didn't bring
Um,
all his friends in, and he
no,
had
he
he
didn't.
had the opportunity to. There were so many fucking people in this movie.
Who is Buscemi's in it, right?
Buscemi's in it, yeah, and that's
He's like one of the only ones that
yeah. There's
other
a
than his
scene,
family members, which are like
yeah,
only like minor parts.
and then Chris Rock, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Hmm.
There was a scene where there's the two fat guys, the magician, that could have easily been Kevin James, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. Um, all his family members could have been it, and they really nailed the family members. Just like being Northeast Jewish people, like
Hmm.
it was probably everyone that he grew up with
Yeah.
was written into that show. The fucking kid, the fucking
The
kid,
neighbor.
no, the recovering drug addict kid. It was everything was a trigger. That
Yeah, they
was
like
fucking
couldn't do
dumb.
anything because of him.
Yeah. Oh man. I honestly I didn't hate this movie at all. I would never watch it again, but this
It's
one was actually trending in the right
it's
direction.
gonna go back downhill next week.
Okay. All right, at least I had my little up, but I mean
Yeah.
it wasn't fun because this was hitting me
Yeah,
where it
because it
was
was
down.
stressful.
It really was fucking stressful. I had to pause it a couple times.
I had to watch it in 2 sittings.
Yeah, it's
So, like, depressing stressful? Or
no,
just, like,
just stressful.
okay, I was going to say, like, Click?
No, it's not
No,
like
no, no.
Click. It's not like that other fucking movie he did that wasn't funny with the jewels,
Oh,
Uncut
Uncut
Gems.
Gems.
Oh, Uncut
Well, that
Gems,
movie's
yeah.
not supposed to be funny.
No, it's just like stressful.
Got it.
Like you have imagine having your entire family in your home all the time, and your uncle didn't have any legs, and you had to make him poop.
That sounds very stressful.
It's when he's
That
running after the car,
sounds
telling him
terrible.
his uncle woke up and has to.
Oh man,
Oh, shit, that was
that's some
funny.
funny shit.
It did. It did. There was some actual funny shit in there, and then there was some stuff that just truly didn't belong.
Yeah, I think like when he works with someone like Robert Smigel, he like I think he works harder like on the scripts and like making them more tight
Yeah.
um, than when he works with just like these random fucking guns for hire that he just repeatedly hires.
Yeah. Yeah, no, obviously, like we said, not a vacation movie,
No,
not a glamorous movie at all. But yeah, I think a lot better than its Rotten Tomatoes rating put it at. It's
Yeah.
definitely not in the same ballpark as like a Sandy Wexler or like Just Go With It or whatever the fuck it was that I watched. Another do-over.
Yeah, like I would say it's like in like the quality is like maybe in like the 2000 and like 7 range, 2008, like the 2000s, not the 2010s, which
Yeah,
is
like the
generally
beginning of his
pretty.
decline,
Yeah,
but not like full on fucking.
not the fucking greatness of the 90s and not the like ridiculously absurdness of the 2010s.
Yeah. Yeah. This is probably the first one I'd ever actually like slightly recommend, but don't watch it if you're stressed.
Exactly.
It's not that type of movie.
All right. I'll go into another Chris Rock movie then. Completely different. I saw Spiral, the new Saw movie, this weekend in theaters. First time back in a theater this year, so that was cool. Had my slushy, my nachos. It's nice.
Nice.
How crowded was the theater? Like how many people?
Not crowded. I went like around 4 o'clock on Saturday. It was probably, I don't know, 15 people in the theater at Lowe's, which is like an AMC theater. So, I mean, it was nice that it wasn't crowded. But yeah, it had Chris Rock back in cop mode, which is probably my favorite mode of seeing him in a movie since like Lethal Weapon 4. He's very similar in like his personality to Lethal Weapon 4, just a little more pissed off. It's kind of like if Butters was a cop for 20 years.
Wow.
And like he would just be like angrier and more bitter. But yeah, in it, it ultimately plays like a Saw movie. It's got some pretty gory stuff, but it's not nearly as gory as some of the worst ones in the series. Um, they definitely don't focus more on the torture traps. It focuses more on like the mystery and following Chris Rock and his partner, played by Max Minghella from Social Network and The Handmaid's Tale. So Chris Rock's like the veteran who he's previously narked out somebody else. Is that the expression, narked out?
I never narked on nobody.
Yeah, he narked on somebody. He narked on a bad cop. It's set in L.A. And so he's partnered with a rookie, and they end up having to deal with this copycat jigsaw killer. And basically, all the cops hate Chris Rock. Chris Rock's dad is played by Samuel L. Jackson, and he was the former chief. You find out more about their relationship as it goes along, but doesn't like it has this some of the Saw music like in it. Shows the photos of like the jigsaw killer, but doesn't ultimately focus too much on the things that have happened in the past. It does have some nods that were pretty cool, which I won't spoil, but sets it up so there could be a sequel. Definitely doesn't wrap up the story completely. I did enjoy I liked the twist with why the new killer was doing what he was doing. I thought it was kind of a creative play on the old movies. But yeah, ultimately the killer's going after cops. Like in each movie, there's a different type of like person that he goes after. In this one, they're focusing more on people that work with Chris Rock. And they're all people that have done all cops that have done bad things, since all the Saw movies deal with putting people in traps if they've done something related to a trap related to a like sin or something else that they've done in their past. Which I don't know how the fucking jigsaw killer. What's up?
Pretty on brand for like the other movies, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the biggest difference with this one is it's just so much more well acted than the majority of the Saw movies. It's funny what you can do when you have talented actors in the cast versus in some of those later Saw sequels, it looked like the most directed fucking video actors that could have possibly stepped onto a set.
Yeah.
It just makes a world of difference.
Torture porn.
Exactly. While this one, they tried to have some story behind it. So if you like any of the Saw movies, if you like the early Saw movies, it's worth checking out. If you don't like the Saw movies in general, definitely don't check it out. But I thought it was the best one since Saw 2, I would say. Saw 2 or 3. Definitely better than any of the ones after that.
Yeah, I plan on
and
going and
then-
seeing this in theaters soon.
Yeah. And then I also checked out that new one on Netflix, The Woman in the Window, with Amy Adams. It's kind of like a Rear Window type movie.
Mhm.
Skip it. Definitely not worth watching. They kind of get, like, with all these new movies that do like that riff on Rear Window, they get it all wrong. Like, they have these unreliable narrators who are the most miserable characters in the world to like watch. Like, you go back to Rear Window, like, you have fucking Jimmy Stewart, who, like, you like him the entire time. You're never like doubting that he like is an unreliable narrator. Like, maybe he's wrong, but you trust that he thinks he's right, and he doesn't have any outside influences that would make it apparent that he's wrong in what he thinks. Even Disturbia, I thought, did a good job with the fact that
Disturbia, yeah.
like Shia LaBeouf's like likable throughout that movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's definitely important with that type of movie.
If
For
you
sure.
if you're if you're following a miserable character who's like
You're not going to
an
trust him.
alcoholic with tons of mental problems or something,
Mhm.
and they're just miserable the entire movie, it's just not fun to watch. It's just drag.
Mhm.
So, despite the fact that it had a really good cast, Gary Oldman, Julianne Moore, Wyatt Russell, Anthony Mackie, I wouldn't recommend it.
That's disappointing.
Is that the movie where she thinks she saw a murder
Yeah.
out of her
Yeah.
window?
Mhm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that was supposed to come out in theaters, right?
Mm.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
I
20th.
remember seeing the trailer for that like a while ago.
Yeah, 20th Century Fox was supposed to have released it, and then they did reshoots based on test screenings that were so poorly, and man, these reshoots were terrible. You can tell which were the reshoots were, and they were
You always
fucking
can.
Oh wow.
bad, like embarrassingly bad. Worst part of the movie. So they didn't work. And then yeah, Disney bought Fox, and they eventually COVID happened. They eventually sold it to Netflix. So
Huh.
I hope they got a lot of
Um,
money for it.
yeah, right.
Trailer
'Cause
looked intriguing at the
within a
time.
week, nobody will be watching it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, supposedly it was based on a decent book. Like, it's an intriguing premise. It didn't work as a movie.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
Netflix has just been like firing a lot of blanks for me recently. I just
Yeah, I mean, they're acquiring the movies from
Netflix
studios that
show.
studios aren't proud of and don't want to release
Yeah.
themselves. And the movies that they make,
Yeah, it's
they make
starting
the
to like
biggest
show
misses.
that they're just getting like a lot of the trash that the studios don't want to release.
Yeah, they're getting the scraps that the studios don't expect to like be successful.
It's the blockbuster video side of Netflix. Is they're
Yeah.
not all going to be winners, but they're just trying to bolster their library with things, and I get it. I'm sure it's for some people. I'm sure there are some people out there that don't really require like a they don't have a high bar when it comes to watching movies, and they'll watch the shit out of that and like it. But
Exactly.
Yeah. I've just been kind of disappointed with Netflix overall recently.
Yeah.
Well, Army of the Dead comes out on
Just been a lot of,
Friday,
like-
and supposedly it's good.
That's true, and that's supposed
Yeah.
to be pretty amazing. Yeah,
That one
I heard
hyped
like
for.
if you could see that in theaters, like see it.
And we did just get Mitchell's versus the Machines, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
That's true.
And there's a
That's-
new
that's fair.
serial killer documentary. I'll be watching that.
Yeah, of course you
Son
will.
of Sam.
Something for everybody.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what Netflix is. All right, let's go into the ones that a bunch of us have watched. Nobody. Let's talk about that real quick. Corey, you caught up on that. We watched that. Quick thoughts. I've already talked about it, and Doug, I think, has talked about it as well.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun. I know going into it, and I'm sure everyone kind of felt this way. It was hard to picture. It was hard to picture what's his name, Saul Goodman.
Yep, Bob
As Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, there you go. As like an action star, but he really killed it, and he got like into like really good shape for this movie. It seemed. And
He did all those pull-ups on the bus station.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, they did. Wait, JP, have you seen it yet,
I have
or
seen
just the
it.
trailers?
Yeah. I
Wait,
have
you
seen
saw it?
Yeah, I didn't see it on this list, so I didn't put my name on it.
Oh yeah, I added it earlier today because I remembered we watched it. Okay, you talk about it as well.
I like Corey Flash.
Yeah, the only other thing was just they really played off the comedy around, this lanky father figure, being literally like a lethal weapon. And, the story, I thought the story really fit really well, and they kind of built like a pretty cool little universe that, they can continue on with. The action was fantastic, way better than I thought it was going to be. Still like John Wick more, but I did enjoy this. I felt like it was a little different of a feel, but definitely a revenge movie. I liked how it was shot a lot.
Yeah, it was a good looking movie. I think John Wick 1 is easily better than this. Just in terms of overall story and depth, and I think the action was better in John Wick. But I mean, this is a good movie.
What was the depth though in John Wick?
There's
His
a whole
puppy
fucking
got
like
killed?
there's a whole underground society that he's part of, and he's got this huge like long past of being this fucking boogeyman and shit.
Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. I just thought like they had the whole underground, they had the Continental, they
That
had
stuff
the
is what
whole
they.
society.
Yeah, that's the stuff where like they did a really good job of creating a universe.
Yeah. And then the puppy, and he just fucking goes wild, and you learn why the hell this guy's going wild, why he can do the things that he can do. I thought the payoff for Nobody was I don't think it was as good as I had hoped it was gonna be.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's this guy that goes and gets people like when the CIA or the FBI wants someone to disappear, he goes and takes care of it. Like I get that. I don't know how believable it was, especially with Christopher Lloyd being the first one.
Oh, he was
And
great.
fucking, was it RZA? Was his brother or fucking
Yeah, Riz's his
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
half brother or something, or adopted
Yeah.
brother.
They didn't really go into that at all.
Yeah, it seems like
And
that will be more in the second one.
sequel, they build up to that. I thought it was overly gory.
It was
Some of the
very gory.
scenes,
way gorier than I thought it was going to be.
unnecessarily,
Yeah.
but like not horrible. The fight scenes were really cool.
What was your favorite fight scene?
That's a good question.
I think the bus was my favorite.
Yeah, the bus was pretty damn good.
That was really good.
I think I liked the warehouse at the end.
Yeah.
The
That
home,
was just- it was
he's
fun.
got like Home Alone vibes to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I
That's
didn't
where
even
they
think
booby
about that.
trapped the like whole place up.
because you
Yeah.
see him setting up all the booby traps, and
Yeah.
you wonder what they're all gonna do, and then you get all the payoffs of what it actually
Yeah.
does.
And then he
I-
like leads them to the house. Like it's very similar to
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Yeah, I thought
We
that
just
was
needed it set during Christmas, and we would have been. It would have been true. Home
They're
Alone.
saving that for the sequel.
It was edited really well too. That was one thing that like really stuck out to me. Like it was shot well,
Yeah.
but like the editing, I was like, wow, this is
Well,
really
well,
exceptional.
It seemed like Bob.
with the push-ups and like the clock and every like him
Oh, yeah, the
punching
beginning
into
was
work
cool.
and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
It captured
was-
monotony pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I felt offended.
Yeah.
I was very offended by that. I felt attacked.
Yeah, just like my life is meaningless.
The recycling where he always misses the recycling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually missing the garbage right now. Thanks for reminding me when you put that out. I thought Odenkirk carried it well, though. I
Yeah.
mean,
He really did.
he did a really good job. Like a sequel is probably pretty warranted too at that point.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get one based on how it's performed on VOD and in theaters.
Yeah, I didn't really like the bad guy.
Yeah, he was weird. He was different.
Yeah,
He was weird.
But like, have any of the John Wick movies have good villains? I'm trying to think.
Well, I liked the Russian mobster guy that was his son was the bad guy in the first one. I thought he was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
The second one, no, not really. Common wasn't that great.
I mean, the villain in
And
3,
then-
I loved.
I forget who the villain is. Oh,
Mark Dacakis.
Yeah,
or
I
Bo-
can't
Mark,
even tell you.
Mark Dacakis,
Yeah.
yeah, he's. But I like him. He's a martial arts.
Yeah, I thought
actor.
Theon Greyjoy was probably the most memorable just because he killed the dog, and then
Yep.
Yeah.
the bad guy, the dude in the second one, was memorable just because of his face off in the Continental at the end of the second one.
Yeah.
yep.
Like how smug he was.
He's a smug guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I think it's neat. I don't know how in depth that world goes. It's just an old guy and two adopted sons blowing people up.
Yeah. It's from the writer of John Wick, so we'll see how much he builds on it with the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's got me interested.
It was a hell of a first movie, though. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
going to be nearly that good.
Oh, I thought him blowing up the house was really cool. How he has like the little room where he just puts on a certain record and it lights the whole house on fire.
Yeah.
Then it goes, you have teenage kids. What if the fucking kid's down there smoking a cigarette and puts it out and the whole house goes on fire? I mean,
The kid turns on that record.
yeah, or it turns on that record. That's a little. I mean, you're kind of rolling the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go into another action movie. I believe Corey and myself were the only one who watched this one. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse.
I have not seen it.
I haven't watched anything else on this list.
This is the Michael B. Jordan adaptation of Tom Clancy book. Kind of is leading into Rainbow Six and all those other movies and things like that that we've seen. Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, etc., and Jack Ryan, that kind of stuff.
John Krasinski.
Yeah, exactly. The TV show. We'll see if they bring him into the movie as the sequel as John Ryan, if they make one.
Is John Ryan in Rainbow Six?
I'm not sure, but he's the character that Michael B. Jordan plays has been in the Jack Ryan movies previously.
Oh, cool.
Like the Sum of All Fears and
The Jack Ryan verse.
like Patriot games. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is I'd say this one had some for a PG-13 rated movie. It had some pretty solid action scenes. Fairly intense for PG-13 as well. Definitely didn't like blow me away or anything like that, but I would continue watching them moving forward. It kind of has a similar kind of feel to John Wick in the fact that like his wife and unborn child get murdered, and then that's what sends him on his like path of vengeance. The only difference with this one is he's like has the approval of like the
government sanctioned
government
vengeance.
Yeah, exactly.
Best
Because like the vengeance that they're basically allowing to him have to an extent of vengeance in order to accommodate their needs and what they're like trying to accomplish. So that is what plays it a little differently. But yeah, it's got like an after credit scenes teasing a Rainbow Six movie, which I don't always love when there's a movie that is clearly intended just to set up a like what people would really be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rainbow Six was pretty huge in regards to like the video games and
still is
the book and everything like that. So I think if you had just thrown out Rainbow Six to start, it probably would have been like much more successful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the viewership numbers have been on Prime, because that's where you can watch it. But I don't know, Corey, you got anything else to say about this one?
Yeah, no, I feel the same way as you. Like it was good. Like I enjoyed it. It kept my attention. The supporting cast I really liked. I thought, I mean, Michael B. Jordan was great, but I did really enjoy the supporting cast, which I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much as I did. And probably the only negative that I really have for the movie is that it was a little too long. It definitely had some pacing issues, but it wasn't really obvious, but it definitely was maybe, I don't even know if a half hour too long, maybe 20 minutes. And I think that this movie would have been better as a rated R if they were able to extend it to a rated R movie. I think the action would have played a little bit better, but they did a good job for the PG-13 rating. Definitely. It was visceral and, the action was done well. But I definitely interested to see more of them. But it definitely felt probably a half hour too long for me.
All right. Doug, let's jump into the other Taylor Sheridan movie, since he wrote both Without Remorse and then wrote and directed Those Who Wish Me Dead. This one's on HBO Max and in theaters now. Stars Angelina Jolie as like a smoke jumper firefighter in like the forests. And it deals with her in the aftermath of her feeling responsible for a few kids dying in a forest fire. She then has to protect this other kid who's being hunted down by two hitmen because their father was like kind of like a whistleblower who hasn't yet gotten the chance to blow the whistle. But the kid has the information that could cause
Yeah, we
a lot of
never.
trouble to Tyler Perry. We don't know exactly what or how high it goes, but yeah, that's the basic premise of the movie. Kind of, it very much has like a feel of like a '90s like type of action movie, or like the plot with what like they're dealing with. But Doug, I know you weren't blown away by it. Did you enjoy it like at all? Are there any highlights that you did like?
No, I didn't like this movie at all. I was like so annoyed by this movie. It's not a lot of times where I watch a movie and I'm like, feel like I could probably put together like, or a lot of people could probably put together like a script that makes more sense or is just better than this. I thought the script just like sucked. I don't know, for like lack of a better word, it just sucked. Like I thought the whatever story they were trying to set up never paid off. I didn't have any attachment to any of the characters. I just like it sucked to me. And then like there were just like some weird scenes. Like there's a scene where like they're trying to establish, I guess, that like lightning's gonna be a thing in this movie. And so she's like at the top of this tower, this big metal tower, where she like typically sits within, and you see like the lightning, and it's like further out, and it's like slowly coming in. It's like, and it eventually gets to the point where it's like about to hit the tower, and she like jumps off the tower and like grabs the rope and slides down and like fucks up her hand, but she escaped like the lightning coming down. For me, I was just like, why did she just go inside, or like have like an inside part? Like, why didn't she and ride out the lightning there? Maybe like I just don't know how lightning works, but it seemed like a more plausible scenario than like the fucking
Just jumping
crazy
off
ass
a
jump she
fucking
does and
big ass
grabs
thing.
the rope and like tries to save her life. Yeah, I just thought there's a story there. I just felt like they didn't do a good job, and like there's no payoff to anything. Like you never know. Spoiler, you never find out like why they're after this guy and after this kid. Like there's no,
Really?
yeah, there's never any payoff for that. They establish like initially in the movie that you're in Florida, you're in Fort Lauderdale originally, and then you're in
Yeah.
Jacksonville. And Julia and I both, my wife and I both looked at each other and we're like, "This isn't Florida. this does not look, this does not look like Florida." And like they were in Fort Lauderdale, where it's like, all right, there's like palm trees and stuff, and then when they moved to Jacksonville, it was like, that's definitely not Jacksonville. Like it all looked like L.A. This is where they filmed it, and they just put Florida down there in the subtitles. But then they go to like the mountains where the rest of the movie takes place, and they don't like show you where it is. And I was like, where are we now? Like they left Florida, but like where are they?
Or some shit.
Yeah, they finally say Montana at one point.
Oh,
I'm
they
like,
do,
oh, they're in
right? Yeah.
Montana. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's where they are. But they like put all this emphasis on like, oh, we're starting in Florida, and it like never mattered. None of it ever mattered. It's just like a sloppy script. Is my
Yeah,
whole beef with the
it
thing.
was definitely a step back from his previous work of Wind River, Hell or High Water, Sicario. I definitely, I definitely enjoyed it more than you did, but like there were aspects of it I liked. Like I like John Bernthal and his wife's little arc. The fact that like some supporting characters got some interesting stuff to do that you don't typically see in these type of action movies. It was funny. Like at one point, I was like, Angelina Jolie is fucking going around with her pickaxe and everything. I'm like, man, she's like fucking Lara Croft. And then I'm like, oh wait, she was Lara Croft.
Yeah.
It reminded
Yeah.
me so.
I was wondering if like
reminded me so much of the new.
I had the
game.
exact same thought. I had the exact same thought. I was like, instead of like I knew that she was Lara Croft still, and I'm like, did they give her the pickaxe just so she could be like Lara Croft? Like, is this like a little Easter egg? Like, I wasn't sure the whole time. I was like,
Yeah.
did they give her that just to be like too? But yeah, it was teeing up the other thing I want to mention is like teeing up the trailer to watch it, and like trailer far better than the movie. It's a great trailer. They bill it, and like you see John Barenthal, you see all these characters that are in the movie, and like the only one that actually gets billed on the trailer is Angelina Jolie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's kind
Yeah,
of
which is
crazy.
weird because like Nicholas Holt's like
Nick
Nicholas
Holt,
Holt's decent like actor. John
the
Bernthal is like
that I can't remember what
Agent
the
Gill,
actor's actually is in
CIA
there.
in
Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises. He was good
yeah,
in this one, I thought.
yeah. He just like didn't have anything to really do.
No, he's just basically just like, I hate this place. I don't like the woods because I just keep getting fucking hurt.
Yeah, the cast was like better than it should have been. There was a lot of things that felt like it's just the script for me.
Yeah.
Just could have been a better script.
Which is fair. All right, let's get into the best one I think that we're going to be talking about, in my opinion at least. Mitchell's versus the Machines. So Doug, you and I have both watched it. I've already watched it twice. Yeah, I think this one's fucking great. And
yeah, why don't you lead the discussion on this one since you're
Sure.
I really like this. Just like spoiler, I really like this movie, but yeah, I feel like you've got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, no, it's from Sony Animation. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they were heavily involved in it, with the production. Has look and feel similar in style, like more similar in like look to like a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse than anything from like a Pixar or DreamWorks or anything like that. But it's got like the same type of manic like energy. But yeah, the story deals with this high school graduate who's going to film school in LA. She's trying to get away from her family, who's a bunch of fucking wackadoos, like a normal fucking family. Dan McBride plays the dad. And then ultimately, she's having lots of riffs with her dad, and his decision is to drive her with the family to college. When they're on their way there, there's a whole situation where technology is coming to take over the world, and collect all the humans and just rocket them off into space. And they end up being the final humans that are alive to combat these robots and smartphones and toasters, tennis rackets, Furbies that are trying to fucking get them and complete their mission. It's just a really well-made family movie. It reminded me a lot of The Incredibles. I actually liked it more than both Incredibles movies. I don't know what else to add to it without spoiling things. So I'll pivot it to you, Doug, and get your thoughts.
I thought it was a really fun movie. I thought the animation was like the crown jewel for me of the entire movie. Like the story's fantastic, but the animation is just like so crazy, so over the top. You could probably like pause it, I would imagine, pause it on different like frames, and like they just stuff so much stuff in there that you could just probably pick out like a million things that they've got in there. But it was cool. I have a nitpick.
Yeah.
So one of the two guys that wrote it actually voices one of the main characters in the movie.
Was he the
voices,
son?
yeah, he voices Aaron. And like, I think it's a great script. I think he did a great job writing it. I like hated his voice.
He's
in the
real.
movie because
it's real like nasally and.
Yeah, and he's like,
he's so off the
I forget
wall.
how old he is. He's like in his 30s or 40s. I don't remember how old he is. He's like older though, and like he's supposed to be a little kid, and he like sounds older.
Yeah.
And so like every time that character talked, I was just like, I'm taken out of the fact that there's this little kid that has this like middle-aged man's voice coming out of
Yeah, I
him.
mean,
Like
with
it's just kind of like
a lot of cartoons, if you get adults to do like a young like male, it ends up being like a female who's doing the male voice.
right. And,
like on
and to me that works better because it's more believable. Like that was the only voice where I was just like,
it didn't
I
connect.
don't know, like it sounds kind of weird that Yeah, that took me a little bit out of it, but I get it. He like the co-writer on the movie and very heavily involved, and so it's cool that they gave him a role. It just kind of took me out of it a little bit, but
Mhm.
overall, fantastic movie, fantastic script. Um, I love that like the perfect family in that movie is like John Legend and like
Chrissy
Chrissy
Teigen.
Teigen.
Yeah, and
It's
then
just like that's in the trailer, and it's so funny throughout the movie when they show
the
up.
daughter in that of those two is the girl from Knocked Up, like the Asian girl from Knocked Up. I don't know if anyone remembers.
I don't
She
remember.
was like a huge pothead and dating. I forget which
Oh,
character she's
Jodie.
dating. Yeah, Jodie. um, yeah, but Danny McBride, like I said, I thought he was like as good as Craig T. Nelson in The Incredibles. Maya Rudolph was solid as the mom. Abby Jacobson, I thought was really good as the protagonist of the movie. Um, and Olivia Colman was awesome as like the
Yeah, I was
maid.
gonna say Olivia Colman as like the
It was really cool
alcohol
getting her in that role.
the Siri
Yeah,
basically was Olivia Colman, which was kind of cool.
the Siri who's responsible for like everything that's going down.
Yeah,
And Beck Bennett, I want to shout out him and Fred Armisen. I thought those two were
they
really
were
fun
good as like the
as the
goofy
robots.
malfunctioning robots. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. uh, I think you're right though. The father is probably one of the best roles in that movie. Just fucking killed it.
yeah. It's a shame this one didn't play in
Like
theaters.
it's
I
a
think it
father.
could have been a hit.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
Yeah.
say
It's
about
because
the
it's
dad?
mainly about. I was just gonna say it's like it's the dad and daughter. I mean that's like
Mhm.
the heart of the story. So
Yeah, and they
um,
just it
if
pays off.
those parts didn't work, it wouldn't have done well. And Dan McBride just does a great job being the out of touch father.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's great. Animations. If you're just like a fan of animation, you don't care about the story, even though it's a great story. I think it's worth it just to see that like what Sony is doing with animation. I think it's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's definitely
Um,
exciting to see what they're doing. It's different, and that's what's cool about it.
it's super different. Yeah, it's different than what everybody else is doing.
All right, so yeah, obviously the two of us recommend it. So if you're watching this, if you have Netflix, you can check it out for free. That's The Mitchells versus the Machines. Now let's move on to the feature presentation, summer movie preview. Like we said, hopefully it's a little bit more accurate than last year. I think it will be,
Second
but
chance.
who knows? We'll talk about where you can find the movies and things like that, and just our like basic thoughts on them. So let's start with May. Really, we only got two things. They both come out on May 28th. We've got A Quiet Place Part 2 and Cruella. A Quiet Place will be in theaters exclusively on 5/28. After 45 days, it'll be on Paramount Plus. So that's going to be the first movie that they put out in theaters that comes out on Paramount Plus after 45 days. Be interesting to see if it plays a role in its box office, like dropping significantly after 45 days. My guess is no, because I don't think too many people have Paramount Plus, minus one of our friends. But and the other one is Cruella, which will be available on Disney Plus with that $30 premiere access at the same time. I'll ask you guys, either of these movies you think worth, like, are you going to see it in theaters, or does it just not have any interest to either of you or any of you?
No, my summer doesn't really start till June.
Does your summer start on June 25th?
It does indeed.
Yeah, I'm kind of with JP. Where I'm like, I think Quiet Place intrigues me, but not enough to bring me out to the theater. It sucks. We were like this close to getting it, right before COVID hit. It was
I
like
know.
Yeah.
you were seeing like John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, like just promoting the shit out of this movie, and it was just like up
Yeah.
COVID, and it was just like just disappeared from existence for a year, and now
I think
it's materialized and it's back.
I'm pretty sure this was even supposed to come out before No Time to Die, like a week or two before.
Yeah, it was. It was May.
And like John Krasinski was going to be hosting SNL, and then it was like
Yeah.
shut down.
Actually, I
and
think
then
it was
he
the end
hosted
of
it, like the
April.
following season.
I think it was coming out like the last week of April originally.
I thought it was March last
It-
year.
Maybe.
For some reason.
It was just
Uh,
like I remember it being like that was a movie that was like just about to come out, and then it was like
Yeah.
COVID just kind of like
Destroyed it.
yeah, it was just like the Thanos snap, just like it just like disintegrated.
Yeah,
we
I'm really
never got it.
exactly. I'm really interested to see if this one like kind of has that Aliens quality to it, where they're expanding out of just like one setting, and if
Mhm.
it has bigger set pieces and anything like that.
Action war movie.
Yeah, or if like not to an extent. I don't think we're getting
28
that from the
weeks later.
trailers. Yeah, that one was disappointing. But I wonder if it's going any way towards that type of
Yeah.
kind of feel.
I mean, the first one was pretty good. They did a good job with like tension, so
I'm
I would
still-
give it a shot, but obviously not in theaters. I'll give it a shot on my couch. at home.
Early, I don't know if you guys saw, but like the first like thoughts from Cruella have just come out yesterday, and word is that it's like definitely the best of any of like the animated ones to live action. And I think that probably has a lot to do with the fact that it's not an actual adaptation, and
That's Joker.
they're creating their own thing. Yeah, which is happens to be an homage to Joker. Um, but yeah, no, word is that Emma Stone is, and I hear that the dude from Cobra Kai and Richard Jewell, he's the scene stealer. Paul Walter Hauser, he's
Oh,
the
that fucking guy.
yeah, exactly that guy. He is supposed to be like hilarious in it, which I'm not surprised. He's funny in everything I've seen him in.
But how are the Dalmatians?
I mean, I don't even
How are
know
they?
how many Dalmatians are in this movie. We're not getting 100 to 1.
No.
Looks like we're
only
getting 2 from the
Odd.
trailer. But yeah, I'm gonna check these two out in theaters. Just because I've got the itch now to see movies again in theaters. And I will never pay $30 to rent a movie on Disney Plus. That's just absurd. Corey, I imagine you'll see A Quiet Place.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that in theaters. Definitely. Cruella. I don't know. Actually, I could see myself going to see Cruella in theaters.
It's not in theaters at all, is it?
It's in theaters in Disney Plus.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah, it's possible. I could see myself going and seeing that in theaters. I'm definitely not going to pay for it in Disney Plus. If
Yeah.
I end up seeing it, it'll be in theaters. But yeah, Quiet Place 2, I'm absolutely going to see in theaters.
All right. Moving on to June, we've got The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It, coming out June 4th. That's in theaters and HBO Max. And then the following week, In the Heights, same situation, theaters and HBO Max. Corey, I think this was on your top 10 most anticipated of the year.
Yep.
The Conjuring. Doug, you're gonna have to catch up if you're gonna want to see this one. But my guess is that Doug, you're probably not seeing a movie in theaters until Black Widow, if I'm guessing correctly.
That would not be by choice.
Yes, exactly. but you'd have to see it in theaters.
Right.
But yeah, Corey, you're obviously excited for Conjuring. Looks a little different than the other ones, like we've said with the trailer.
This will be another one I'll see in theaters for sure.
This one, I'm gonna go cheap this year and watch things on HBO Max if they're for free on HBO Max. At least until I have like my A list at AMC reactivated.
I saw a lady jump off a cliff in this on a commercial or something.
Yeah, that's it.
She gets
Just pulled down or something.
by the spookies.
But I guess anyone that doesn't believe in ghosts would see her jumping off.
Shouldn't go near cliffs if you got like ghosts on you.
Yeah, it's a
Not a
bad
bad idea.
decision. Definitely a bad decision.
So
They're also con artists anyway, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, so I have my sub now. So I've completed the surround sound in my home, so it's gonna be hard to pull me out
You're gonna be
to
watching
watch a movie.
True, definitely. But you're gonna be watching In the
although-
Heights fucking all the time.
I was
with
gonna say-
your wife.
I was gonna say In the Heights, if it's good, if it's like Hamilton good, then I could see us seeing it in theaters.
Oh wow.
Just to
Okay.
like have that like
Communal
experience of like
experience.
I'm with Doug on
yeah,
this.
like
I can see myself doing that.
if I could have seen Hamilton in theaters, like I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if it was just like a bunch of Hamilton heads that were
Feel like-
just singing along. And
I feel like we'll have
having a
that
good time.
opportunity at some
Oh
point.
God, I can't imagine a more annoying situation than seeing a musical in the fucking theater singing along with that.
Yeah, I'm
Drive me
gonna
fucking
agree with
insane.
JP here. I'll be watching that one at home. In the comfort of no Hamilheads or Lin-Manuel maniacs.
I like that concert experience when I'm watching it in the theater.
That's fair. Teach their own. And then on June 18th, Luca, the new Pixar movie that gets relegated exclusively to Disney Plus,
Dumped
comes
on
Yeah.
out.
Disney
I went
Plus.
to watch that for free
That's
at
not
home.
a good sign.
Dude, my expectations now after watching Mitchell's and the Machines or versus the Machines are so low for this one. Like it's gonna be an afterthought.
I have no interest.
Which sucks.
It's so weird that Sony is like becoming the new like Pixar.
They're like the cool studio.
Yeah, and Pixar's like just like the same old. Same
Yeah.
old.
This one
We'll
looks
see.
like
I'm sure they'll.
this one looks like B-rate Pixar, but like good dinosaur Pixar. But,
Goodest dinosaur.
yeah, maybe we'll be wrong.
Better than
Okay.
Cars, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, you hope for that every single.
That's
time
the
they make a movie,
least
right?
that anyone can hope from a Pixar movie. Is that it's better than Cars. All right, and then I would say the real start of the summer movie season is June 25th with F9, the Fast Saga. I mean, I don't think we can even talk about how truly excited we are as a group for this movie. Doug, his excitement is just, it's palpable. It's radiating off the screen right now.
So I have
Yeah,
one
let's just
thing.
say like the group of the three.
It's really just the group of me.
Yeah, because
I'm the only one who
one
still enjoys them.
I
fucking
enjoy
hate
them.
the last
JP's
one.
like, this shit's fucking jumped off a cliff.
I
Yeah.
enjoy them. Actually, I wanted to mention one thing. I'll probably start it this week since this comes out on the 25th. I'm going to rewatch all the movies
Ooh,
from the first.
you can talk about it on the podcast.
I forgot again which ones I haven't seen. I think I think 6, 7, and 8 I haven't seen, or
You have
7 and 8.
There's new ones every single time.
I can't keep track of the ones that I haven't seen, but regardless, I'm gonna rewatch all of them because I haven't seen them in a while, and I'll lead up to when this comes out. So I'll probably start that this week. Gives me a
Nice.
chance to watch the old ones again. I
You
haven't
gonna
seen
watch
them in
them
a
in
while.
the right order?
What's that?
You gonna watch them in the right order though?
Oh yeah.
Chronologically, you
No.
gotta think about that.
I
You
didn't think
can't just
about
watch
that.
Tokyo Drift third.
Like it's like the MCU. Do you watch
That's-
it in order of release or chronologically?
That's how I was gonna do it, but you know what?
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
I'm
no.
gonna do it chronologically. That's
There
a
you
good
go.
idea. I'm excited.
JP, I was thinking recently, we're silly for not expecting the fact that they bring back like the whole Tokyo Drift cast, because this is the first one that Justin Lin is directing post Tokyo Drift.
I didn't realize that. They were supposed to bring back Lucas Black. for
Wait a
that-
minute.
The one of them.
Well, they did.
Yeah,
They
for,
brought
like,
him back
half-
very quickly for
half a
7.
second, and then they
Yeah.
signed him for like 9 movies.
But now they got like fucking 4 cast members
Yeah.
from Tokyo Drift in this one.
Wait, the
I'm
other ones are
excited.
still prequels? Like the most recent ones, like 6 and 7?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Everything
yes,
Yeah. I'm
4, 5, and
confused.
6 are prequels to Tokyo Drift,
yes.
Okay.
and
And then,
7 and
yeah,
8 take
the
place after
7
Tokyo
and
Drift.
then
But
9.
Justin Lin didn't direct 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And they sucked. So
Yeah,
maybe 9 will be better.
that's what. Fingers crossed, man.
But it looks
I'm hoping.
shitty.
You said 8. Yeah, 8 wasn't good, right?
I fucking hate
8
it.
might be the worst one. It's
I
How was-
almost left the movie theater.
How was Hobbs and Shaw?
fun, but not essential.
I've only watched half of it on TV and I
Great.
turned it off.
You don't need to watch it. Like it's.
I mean, I'm
something.
going to, but
They've banished them from the movies from now on.
They're not allowed in continuity.
They've been relegated to a different reality.
They're non-canon at this point.
Justin Lin
Oh.
did Fast 5, right?
Yes.
And Fast and Furious.
No. Tokyo Drift through 6.
Okay.
Oh yes, Fast and Furious.
Fast
sorry.
and Furious. Yeah.
Yes.
There is no
Correct.
reason for this universe of movies to be this confusing.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean, I
great.
think it makes perfect sense that it's so confusing because it's just fucking garbage. It's like sentient trash at this point. It's like
Yeah.
the fucking movie bin at ShopRite grew legs and arms and is running around like acting shit out. It's unstoppable.
The night that I
I didn't
decide,
know ShopRite had a movie bin.
Oh hell yeah,
yeah,
dude.
they did. They
You
had the
get
whole video.
VHSs for like $2.
Yeah, I remember
Guess
that.
I missed those glory days.
That's like low tier. Then you go to the
Yeah.
Walmart Supercenter and they got a bin.
I've
of
seen the
DVD
Walmart
for
ones,
$5 each. Yeah. Yeah, no, you could get movies at ShopRite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the night that I decide to start this, I'm gonna go and get like a nice bottle of whiskey or something. Maybe like a
You have to drink Coronas
Okay.
Yeah.
because that's what they do throughout the whole fucking movie.
All
Or a
right.
Belgian
All right,
ale.
I'll buy some cerveza and
Dirk just brought up how
There you
they
go.
might cross over Jurassic World and Fast and Furious, and I did read that as well online.
What?
And I wouldn't be shocked if they
What?
I mean,
eventually
why
do that.
not?
What?
What?
I don't
I mean,
like
why the fuck not? I mean, Jurassic World's such a fucking
It's so, but it's not like a good bad.
abomination
It's
of
fucking
like
terrible.
what
Why not?
Jurassic Park used to be.
Isn't Kong
Like, why the fuck?
Isn't Kong Universal as well?
Yeah, they'll just throw Fast and
Yeah,
Furious.
I
in
mean,
there.
just
I would rather Kong and
Just throw
Jurassic
all these
World
garbage.
together.
Jesus Christ.
Dude. fuck
no,
that. Jurassic
don't put
World
that
is-
fucking ape near my TV.
Jurassic World's a pile of
Doug's
shit.
getting pissed.
He's getting as intense as he's ever been.
How?
I'm just mad, like thinking like of Park being somehow like sullied by like King Kong showing up.
Wait, you don't think Jurassic Park's been sullied?
The world's like its own thing. Like I don't like
It
treat
sullies
world
the name
as
of
like.
Jurassic. They even brought back all the old fucking characters, and it sucks.
And they're changing the Universal Parks to throw in Jurassic World stuff now instead.
Yeah, it's been sullied. It's over.
So then, like, Dom is gonna like
not over.
meet up with Chris Pratt's character. And, like-
we're all family here.
He's gonna like drive a
Me familiar.
Challenger into a T-Rex off a cliff into
No,
a T-Rex.
it's an explorer.
No,
Jurassic
he-
Park
They're
Explorer.
gonna be like, you gotta win this race in Jurassic Park. Otherwise, we kill your other brother, played by fucking like Sylvester Stallone. Your father,
This-
who's not really dead.
This is
Stallone.
Jurassic Park.
Christopher Lloyd
That's
will
what
play.
about
I
the
can't
Jurassic
listen. I can't listen to this anymore.
The parks bite back.
we have to move on. I can't,
We're
I can't
upsetting.
do this.
Doug is getting very
All
upset.
right. Just one last thing to note about F9. It's exclusively in theaters. It'll be interesting to see how this plays with VOD because Universal. I don't know if you guys remember this one. They have a deal where if a movie opens to 50 million, it has to play in theaters exclusively for 31 days. If it does not, it can be on VOD in 17 days. I think this will be the first 50 million opener of the year or pre-pant since Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah.
Or Sonic the Hedgehog that might have crossed 50 in early 2020.
I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, July. Black Widow, Doug's first
Yeah.
movie of the year. Comes
Not
out
by
In
choice.
theaters.
not by choice. It comes out July 9th. This one's also in theaters and Disney Plus for $30. This is probably the consensus pick. No, JP, you're probably not going to see this one in theaters, right?
No, I am.
Oh, but then this will be the first one that we all see in theaters of this year. So that's exciting. And I don't think we're even that excited for this
Sure.
movie.
No, not even a little bit. My wife is.
No, I think it looks like a
I'm
trash
excited.
movie. To me, this movie doesn't look.
I don't care. About it.
It'll be
I-
fine. It won't suck.
I am not excited for any Marvel movie
Yeah.
this year other than Spider-Man 3.
Well, you're wrong with that because we
Uh,
got Shang-Chi in September, and Shang-Chi's gonna be good.
I'm not
Shang-Chi's
wrong.
gonna
I
be
mean, it,
Shang-Chi fan.
it might be good, but I'm not excited for it.
Um,
And I'm not excited for Eternal.
you will be when you
We'll see. We'll see about that.
son of a bitch. Yeah, Black Widow. Obviously, Marvel's got to like step things up because I feel like our excitement level for a Marvel movie is like, or Marvel movies, is pretty tepid.
It's over. I mean, they
Considering like,
did the thing.
yeah,
I think you
They
guys
did
are looking at this the
They
wrong
did the
way.
thing.
Yeah.
They did the thing with the snap, and now it's
I think
Yeah,
this
you
is
gotta
until
build back up for the
until
next
they
thing.
tease Fantastic Four, and then we'll all lose our
Who's-
shit.
Who the fuck is that excited for fucking Fantastic Four?
I'm
not
pretty
that
excited for
good.
like a real Fantastic Four.
Really? Because they're like incredibly fucking boring. There's Stretchy Man and Invisible Girl and fucking Rock Dude.
Rock guy.
The guy that lights himself on fire.
Yeah,
We
man.
got
Not
Rock
that
guy.
interesting.
I just want Doctor Doom, but mostly Fantastic Four is cool, but Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom's super
because he was done.
having a dope
He was
costume.
done so well with Julian McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't remind me. Don't remind me. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about that.
But yeah, Black
All right,
Widow.
so we're all tepid for Black Widow, but we're all gonna see it.
No,
Yeah.
Corey's down there in the
No,
fucking
I'm
bottom left
pumped.
corner going fucking
I
nuts
wanna
for
see it. In theaters. You guys are wrong.
Corey will be number one online to get in there to get the best
Nice.
seat.
All right, now this next one, I think it's on here just basically to see how. I mean, I know it's gonna make money, but to see how bad it's gonna be. And that's Space Jam: A New Legacy.
This is gonna be horrible.
Yeah, it
Which will
looks
be on
horrible. It
in
looks
theaters
bad.
and HBO Max. Did you guys see that Don Cheadle spoiled a cameo in this movie?
No.
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 And
No.
it's a big one. If you guess what it is, I'll tell you. If you don't, we'll just keep it a
Bugs
secret.
Bunny.
Yeah,
Darth
Bugs
Vader.
Bunny's in it.
Mike,
Spoiler.
Michael Jordan.
Ding ding ding.
But that
Yeah.
that's not
So,
really
so surprising that
That's
they
not
bring back.
that's not surprising at all. I expected him to be in it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was someone like, really surprising.
You said Darth Vader.
I
It's
know.
Not, this is Warner Brothers. Why would they bring Darth Vader?
You made it seem like it was surprising, like someone like left field, like fucking Dom from Fast and the Furious.
Surprising, not like illegal.
But yeah, it's got the original
Well,
guy back. I mean,
it's
Michael
my-
Jordan and LeBron James being in a movie together is pretty crazy. I don't even think they've done a commercial together.
LeBron's
don't
gonna
know.
act
They
the
feel like
Yeah.
don't even
pants
like
off
each
of.
other.
But yeah, like we've talked about it. The original movie's not very good, but like
No.
people like it. So I don't know. They don't have Bill Murray in this one, so who cares?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Next up, we've got the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's a summer of horror. We got a lot of them. But yeah, we've got Old. This one will probably be on VOD 17 days after, because I doubt it pulls a 50 million opening weekend. Or he did just confidently say it will not make 50 million on its opening weekend. I don't read into that as you will. Read into it as you will.
It's an amazing movie, but lacks the pull for a mainstream audience.
We'll move it on. Jungle Cruise.
This movie is gonna be a fucking monster. I'm calling this now. You got The Rock, you got Emily Blunt being fucking charismatic people.
Yeah,
They're gonna
it
love
seems like it would be one that would make money.
I'm gonna see this shit. It looks like fucking Pirates of the Caribbean with The Rock in it.
It
It
does
definitely
not
looks
look
more.
good.
It looks more Pirates
Awesome.
than Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like, I mean, obviously it does from the setting, but
no, it's got that feel. It's a
style looks got
cool
more.
adventure movie.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make a lot of
Rock.
money. It is gonna be opening on Disney Plus, like Premiere Access as well. But I don't think it'll make much of a dent on that by late July when this comes out.
It's gonna be
I
hot
think-
as fuck outside. Kids be screaming.
Yeah, they're gonna take me to the movies.
He's been spraying them with the hose for weeks now, and they won't shut the fuck up. And they're like, "Let's go to a cold movie theater," and then they won't shut
Exactly.
the fuck up there either because they don't. They're not quiet.
So JP, you're excited for this one?
I'm actually pretty fucking excited for this one. I'm not gonna lie. Like all sarcasm aside, it's The Rock.
Yeah.
It's Emily Blunt. It's a boat. He's got
I
that
think-
stupid little hat on.
I think Jesse Plemons is in it too.
Jesse Plemons is in it.
That's
Probably gonna murder a whole bunch
that's
of
a
people.
solid cast.
That
This
is
is- that's just what he
really
does.
random.
Corey's like,
he's
I am
he's-
now
he's-
hyped for this movie.
Or maybe he's just gonna like
He's the
voice-
bad guy, I'm
gonna voice
guessing.
the frog or something.
So is this a Premiere Access movie or is this just on Disney Plus? Like, do I have to pay $30?
Theaters or Premiere Access.
yeah, people are gonna
That
go see this in
stinks.
theaters over Premiere Access.
By the time this comes out, A-List will be reinstated.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
just be seeing everything for free. All right. Let's move on to August, which is easily the most crowded August I've ever seen in my lifetime. We start with the Suicide Squad. It's available on HBO Max. This one I'm actually going to see in theaters.
Oh,
though.
for sure.
Same.
Hell yeah.
It deserves a theatrical viewing.
And then I'll
based
probably
on
watch it on HBO
the
Max
trailer.
after.
I might do the opposite. I might like watch it on HBO Max. If I really like it, I'll go see it in theaters.
You know what? You're not going to get any joy out of that if you do that.
Doug's
It's
not
gonna be
going.
not?
hollow when you go
Doug's
see
not
it in
going to the movie theaters at all this summer.
He's
I'm
seen
not going.
He's seen Black Widow, and that's it.
Yeah. I
theater.
got the
Um,
sound system
if he's
now. I
allowed-
got the TV.
If he's allowed to sing, then he's going to go see it in the Heights.
That'll
the
be
words
Only
it.
on
if
the bottom
everybody
of the
is
screen.
singing.
That'll
If
be
they do a
it.
sing along of In the Heights, Doug is there. But yeah, Suicide Squad looks dope.
Yeah.
We're all excited for this one.
Very excited.
Well, we've talked about it a lot. We'll talk about it more later.
Yeah.
Continuing the horror theme, we've got Don't Breathe 2. That comes out August 13th. I don't know what to expect of this one since we have seen no footage, photos.
Yeah,
I don't even think we've gotten a plot, like a log line about what it's about.
Is this the old blind guy?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it stars old blind guy.
It's so strange. We haven't gotten a trailer at all for this. Nothing.
Probably get it with Conjuring
Well,
3.
you know what?
Mm.
It's a POV movie from the perspective of the blind guy, so it's only audio.
That would be the worst movie ever.
Yeah, that would.
Jesus, that would be bad. Yeah, this one's exclusively in theaters. We don't know what to expect from it, but
It comes
I
out in
don't know.
3 months. You haven't seen a trailer for it?
I haven't seen anything of
Yeah.
it.
That's not good.
The first one is great, but I don't know how you make a sequel for this. But
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I don't know.
Combat.
That same day, we've got Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. This one's been pushed fucking a lot of times already.
Yeah.
It's a Fox movie that Disney acquired. From what I hear, it's going to be available on Disney Plus 45 days after it's in theaters. I don't know if that means you're going to have to pay for it 45 days after or if it's going to be free. But that's going to be their first
I'd pay
movie.
for it.
Yeah, it's going to be their first movie of this year that goes first like to theaters and then to streaming after some time in theaters.
I'm shocked
This
it
one?
didn't get streamed.
Yeah, I was gonna say this
I
one
don't
feels like
think
a
it's a-
screamer. This must be like better
I-
than we think it is.
Must be a
I
legal
don't
thing.
think that's it. I think it's a legal
No one
thing.
wanted it.
I think
Okay.
like based on the Fox deal, none of their movies could go straight to streaming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I
Okay,
think
because
that
this feels like a straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one or
Yeah.
whatever streaming service.
It's like a
that's
new-
what it seems. Yeah, it
feels
seems like a
Boss
Netflix movie.
level. It
It's like a
feels
New
this
Mutant
would've came out
situation.
at the exact same time as Boss level, and it would have been the same fucking.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like
Yeah.
a boss level.
So we'll see what how that ends up performing. Hopefully, it's good. The week after that, we've got Reminiscence. We haven't seen a full trailer to this, but it's the Hugh Jack one from the Westworld team. It'll be in theaters and HBO Max. I got
What's
like
the
an-
Westworld team? Is that like Nolan's
Lisa-
brother?
Yeah, Nolan's sister-in-law.
And
Jonathan Nolan's
Jo-
wife.
and Jonathan Nolan?
I think Jonathan Nolan's a producer.
Is it
Got it.
one of the writers of
Lisa Joy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It sounds snooty.
Yeah, no, the log line sounds very snooty. That we
Yeah,
talked about the premise.
Yeah, I mean, from creators of Westworld, and it's already.
Yeah, that's like one line that like kind of turns me off. Just from the creators of Westworld, it just wasn't. It should have been so much better than it was.
The
Yep.
first season was so good.
Yep.
And like, what are they on now? Season
Hello.
4 is coming out soon.
I didn't even know it was still running.
I only saw the premiere of season 2.
It
and I
was a
like,
one
yeah, I mean,
season
they're-
one. It was a
they're-
1 season wonder. It was like Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought that
Yeah,
back
it
like,
def-
10 years after it ended too.
lasted for like a season, I think.
Yeah. Then the following week, we got
Save
two
the
things.
cheerleader.
Yeah, save the cheerleader, save the world. Is that what you're gonna say, Doug?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that was like the tagline
Mm,
during that whole show.
Oh,
stupid show.
For
All
sure.
right, then on August 27th,
Doug
we have
died.
Doug's dead. Oh,
Doug's
he's
dead.
back, and he's not frozen anymore. That's
I'm
great.
back.
That's good.
Um,
Yeah,
so
weird
to
place for me to freeze.
closing out August, we've got The Beatles Get Back and Candyman. The Beatles Get Back is Peter Jackson's directing it, and he's pulling tons of footage that people have never seen from the Beatles working on their final album, or their second to last album, but it was released as their last album.
Is this that project that he's been working on for like a while, for like a couple years on and off?
Yeah, he had like 100 hours of Beatles footage,
Yeah, I
and he's
remember
turning it
hearing
into a
about this.
2-hour movie. Supposed to be pretty neat. I'm interested to see how much it makes at the box office, because there's so many generations of Beatles fans at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's supposed to be a good counter project to the what was the original? There was another movie that was made in the 70s, and it was showing the Beatles making the same album, but they were just like fucking pissed at each other the entire time. This is like the other version showing
Walk Hard.
that. Yeah, exactly. Walk Hard. This is the other version. We're showing that they actually were friends during the making of the album.
They didn't hate
It's
each other
just-
completely.
It's interesting what you can do when you just take all the bad footage and all the good footage. So obviously it's something in the middle.
Yeah.
But it'll be pretty
Interesting.
neat. And then Candyman, direct sequel to the first one. Corey, I think this was also in your top 10 for the year. I've never seen the original. I don't think anyone but you has seen the original. Have you even seen the original, Corey?
Yeah, not recently, but I have seen it like once or twice. It's fun. It's an
All right,
interesting
well-
premise.
It was on my top 10 too.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I thought the trailer looked good.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Jordan Peele producing it.
Yeah, I'm in
that
on-
is a good sign. The director after this is doing the Marvels for Marvel Studios. So it's got some pedigree behind it.
Mm-hmm.
How is this not called The Candyman?
Yeah, because that's what you do when you do a direct
Yeah,
sequel. You
in
just
this
add
day
the
and
to
age,
it.
How is this
Exactly.
not The Candyman.
I don't know. I fucked up on that.
They didn't get the memo.
Just
The
like the Batman
Shang-Chi.
Begins. Yeah, September. We got one movie, and it's a big one. Labor Day weekend. We've got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Similar to Free Guy, it'll be available 45 days after on the VOD or whatever. But I think we've already talked enough about Shang-Chi. Next week we will talk about the box office. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna do our draft and see. We're gonna do U.S. grosses or worldwide grosses?
We haven't discussed that. I mean,
I'll
we'll
let
figure it
you.
out.
Yeah, we haven't discussed it.
I feel like we probably all know U.S. grosses. Like we're more familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
But so we'll probably do it that way. North America.
Yeah. Also, worldwide, you like bring in China, and China's such a wild card these days.
Yeah.
You gotta
Um,
take into account like what other countries are doing and where.
Yeah, like at least we know like how things are gonna be. in
Yeah,
the
because I'm
United
just
States and
gonna
Canada
pick
this
whatever
summer.
like
What
Chinese
China
movies
what
coming out.
Exactly. You won't even be drafting Hollywood movies.
No, I'd just be
No.
like, all right, what's
Foreign
China
You're gonna draft
releasing?
Looks like
the-
I've
oh,
learned how
wait.
to pronounce Mandarin for today, and
I'm gonna take
speaking
the
exclusively in Mandarin.
I'm gonna take the remake of Three Men and a Baby, and that's gonna make $1 billion. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna be
we gotta keep. We gotta.
We'll keep it to here. We'll keep it local.
But
yeah, that's all we've got for today. Thank you again for listening. We covered a lot since we had a few weeks off. But if you stick around on Twitch or check it out on YouTube later, we're going to be covering our 2010 yearly film series. So each of us will have a movie that we are shouting out. And we'll shout out some that were mentioned by viewers. Like we said, next week we're going to be talking about our hopeful summer blockbusters. We don't know exactly how the summer's going to pan out, but we have an idea of which movies will be the most successful. So we'll make our draft picks and follow that throughout the summer, and have a winner in September. But as always, this has been Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
I guess.